We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig. You decide when you lose, not other people. And Blabs.
I like pickles.
And co-hosted by our friends from around the internet. If you like common sense, hit that thumbs up button and, of course, the subscribe button. And join us Monday through Friday live at 11 a.m. Central Time. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on God's green earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, where's everybody at? Welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com. What's going on, everybody? Hi. Stuttering Craig. Good to see you guys. Man, oh man, here we are on a Monday, recovering from a little con flu. I'm gonna power through for you guys today. Good to see everybody. Hopefully all is great in your world as we have passed another weekend of absolute insanity, and we're here to talk about it with you guys. I'll tell you what, Blabs, how are you?
I'm tired, man. It's the Monday. It's the Monday's frump.
Tired. The frumpy Mondays.
Yeah.
Looks like somebody has a thing. What is that? What is that? Looks like somebody has a case of the Mondays.
It's true. That? I do. I woke up and I had my phone blowing up, and I was like, no. Yeah.
Who's blowing up your phone?
The world.
What? What? It wasn't me.
No, it wasn't you.
Okay.
The rest of the world was like, good morning.
Oh no. Well, then there's this. I mean, this here's Blabs right here. This is Blabs in 100%. If we can always bring it back to Office Space here. Always. Have you ever seen Office Space, Blabs?
No.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
So true. So true.
There's Blabs for you.
So true. So true. Listen, the Quidditch Champions trailer dropped. It ruined my morning. Then I had some OBS recording issues that I was about ready to cry on. So it's a frumpy Monday, okay?
Blabs, can I just be the guy who should let you know that you probably shouldn't let the Quidditch trailer bring your mood down?
I know, but at the same time, it's like, what have you done? Anyway. Listen, it's called We Love Our Franchises, Craig, and we want to protect them. So when things go wrong, we get mad.
It's called apathy.
Another classic movie.
Oh, 100%. Once again,
she has dropped the ball. Instead of watching Harry Potter 35 times a week, can you just watch something else?
I haven't seen Harry Potter since September.
That's bullshit. You know it.
I'm not. It's true. I watched the first and second one on the plane to Australia.
Well,
and that was the last time I watched Harry Potter.
Remember we did the Lord of the Rings. I'm telling you, there's so many opportunities for you to see some phenomenal movies. If you just take 90 minutes with me and watch these movies, you will love them. You'll love them.
Only if I get popcorn.
I will send you $5 for popcorn.
Did you buy anything in San Diego, Craig?
No, I didn't buy shit.
What?
Why?
Dude, I go with 2 bags, and they're all.
I bought more things from that place than you did not even go.
You did.
I bought 2 of the exclusives they had. I had to buy them on eBay though.
Yeah, I go with 2 fully packed bags, so I don't. Then some people are like, why don't you bring a 3rd bag? It's like, here's what I picked up from Comic-Con. Okay, I've been to a million of these events. Okay, all Comic-Con you pay $350 something to go to Comic-Con. And then when you go into Comic-Con, all you do is wait in lines all day to go spend more money at Comic-Con. It doesn't make any sense to me at all why people go to Comic-Con.
Hey, but there's so much cool stuff. Like they had this
but you gotta wait 17 hours to get in line and then spend another $200, whatever it is that you're buying. I'm just saying, it's insane.
Well, I didn't because I bought it on eBay. But if I had been there, I would have stood in the line.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's you would have been standing in lines all day. It's just cattle herding. That's it. That's all those events are. It's crazy. I don't know, but so that was my time at San Diego. I'll tell you, I did enjoy the time though. I got a lot of time to spend with some time with Chris Gore. We we wrote a movie together, which was great. So yeah, we've been very busy. Very busy. It was a fun time. Everything outside of going and like walking around the con was great. It was super fun. Blav's like, whatever.
No, I actually really enjoy the whole San Diego Comic-Con talk. I enjoy listening to people what they buy, Craig, unlike you, that you don't buy stuff when you're actually in the biggest Comic-Con in the world.
Look at this thing. This is so cool what I got. I don't buy a lot of figures, but I bought this thing because it's fucking awesome.
I don't mind buying it. It's I mind waiting in line to buy it.
I got this Goku Gohan package. It comes with the cloud, the Nimbus cloud, Kintuan, whatever you want to call it.
So many faces. Happy faces. Look at those faces over there.
Yeah, I had to get this.
Changeable hair. Nimbus cloud. Yeah. There you go. All right. How much was that?
I paid $120 for it. I don't know how much it was at the con.
Well, either way, spent a long weekend over at Comic-Con. Once again, thanks to Basic Pizza for having us out. That was really cool, then. That place, hey, you know how much it costs to rent that place out for like a party at night? 40 grand. Cost 40 grand to rent that place out. And they let us use it for free. It was beyond nice. So thank you.
The pizza place?
The pizza place, yeah.
40 grand?
Mm-hmm. You got to do 40 grand a product. That's the idea. You got to sell 40 grand worth of stuff. And you know what? Ain't no problem. They are selling all the stuff. Like all those venues, that is their weekend that they clean up, because anything close to the San Diego Convention Center, I'm telling
40
you. 40
grand, that doesn't sound very basic.
Well, I'll tell you what. It may not be basic, but these companies are throwing that money out. I mean, the entire side of the Hard Rock Hotel was covered in SpongeBob stuff. So they rented out the entire hotel. I mean, you got to think they probably spent, in addition to all the design work and everything, I mean, they probably spent $500,000 on renting that stuff out, which was crazy. So anyways, good for those companies and good for those venues, whatever. So it was just insane, just insane. Anyways, it was fun. I had a good time, but like all those cons, they're all the same. It's just miles and miles and miles of.
Are you going to go to New York City Comic-Con? I thought I asked you that.
I don't plan on going to New York City ever again.
Okay. I will be at New York City Comic-Con this year.
Ooh, as a guest?
No, I've never been. I want to go.
Okay, cool. Nice. Well,
I'll be there. I'll be in Brooks from One Piece cosplay.
Let's go.
So if you want to meet me, I'll be there.
Find him. Well, we are live over at Rumble and X, and we also have an Instagram account, don't we, Blabs?
We do, so follow some memes and clips of the show. Otherwise, no sandwiches, and you get nothing from San Diego Comic-Con, just like Craig.
Nothing. Absolutely
nothing.
Big old cheap dude.
Yes!
Right. We also have a Kick account, and you can listen to us over on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And, of course, find us over at sidescrollspodcast.com, which redirects to our locals page. I spent a lot of the time on the plane home reworking our entire locals page, Blabs, which I'm going to fill you in on here in a little bit. We're going to do all sorts of fun stuff on it.
Okay.
When I have plane rides, I think about
you
stuff.
think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the worst.
Some people like brainstorm in the shower, but Craig, when he's in a tin can in the sky, actually has all of his big brain moments. He's like, I'm about to die on this Boeing. I better jot all this stuff down.
Yeah, if I'm about to die, I might as well let it go, Hey, do us a favor, guys. If you're watching for the first time over here on YouTube, do us a favor, hit the subscribe button. Join the 90,311 normal men who just love common sense, the video game entertainment space. And let's do our best to get to 25 memberships today and 1,000 likes. I think that'd be really, really great. A quick reminder that today's episode is brought to you by, well, you over at therealgameawards.com. Head on over there and become a voting member over there. We'll have some more information here very, very soon on that. So yes, lots of information. So once again, head to therealgameawards.com and become a voting member. And it's a voting. It's real simple. You control 100% of what wins, not 10% like in the Jeff Keighley Awards. So where it's 90% access media, 10% gamer. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Anyways, with that said, we got a lot going on today. So Blast, please fill us in on today in video game history.
Okay, July 29th, guys. That means
Uh-oh, hold on.
Galactic Patrol has been released 26 years ago in 1998. What's so funny? Why are you laughing, Craig?
Well, you look kind of
That's me. I
defeated.
laughed.
You look defeated before we even got started.
No, I'm just defeated because it's Monday Frumpy. Listen, so Enclave or Enclave, depending on where you live in the world, is 22 years old, and then RoboCop is 21 years old, releasing back in 2003. Ta-da! I think this is a nice swell section.
What is that RoboCop game? I don't even know that existed.
Yeah, that's from like the Xbox version, I believe, from 2003.
All right.
I just
Labs.
remember the NES game and the new one that just came out, which is amazing.
So I think what would be fun to do, Blabs, and I'm
You
just
don't
throwing
like
this
my
out there.
gaming section, do you?
No, this is what I think would be really, really fun.
All
to
of
do.
them are. I've never even heard of them.
So
Wait till tomorrow.
oh no, I haven't. You know what? Give me like 3 minutes. Give me like 3 minutes, and I want to make it entirely. I want to do Craig's today in gaming history. Look at Blab's face. Hey Flash, you ever heard of Echo the Dolphin?
Yes,
Okay.
played it many
That
times.
was released today in July 29th.
How do you not put that on that list?
Look, John says it's a good list.
Uh-huh. No, he didn't. He just said that game's a hidden gem.
Exactly.
You ever heard of Seaman before on the Dreamcast?
I've never played it, but I remember everyone laughing at it
Uh-huh.
because it was, a seaman.
Yeah, that's right. It was a Seaman. You ever heard of Xenoblade Chronicles 3
that old game?
from the Switch 2 years ago?
Blabs!
Wait until tomorrow. I'm so excited for tomorrow. I found this funny ass indie game and it's hilarious.
Blabs!
I'm grounded.
Oh,
No
my
pressure
God.
grounding me.
There you go. Man, we're off to a
Go
killer
back to
start.
your tower.
Go
Yeah.
back to your tower, Blabs.
Oh my God. Can we get Flash's Blabs? Can we just please go find that and that make that its own sound effect? Blabs. All right. Man, right at the bat. Mercenary came in with a massive $20 super chat. Says, man, not meeting you at Comic-Con was really not in the cards. Every time I tried to show up family or work called when I was scheduled to be off for this. Then my tire blew, needed a tow. At least I have Alice Cooper tickets for next month. Man, Mercenary, yeah, what a bummer, but you know what? It's all right. There'll be other times, I promise. Thank you very much for your support. And yeah, sometimes God just says, nah.
I'm gonna go next year to SDCC.
Yeah. Well, hey, you can go, then we'll hang out. You and I can be bros the entire time. We'll just walk around, be bros.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Sweet. All right. You're
Gay!
Mercenary, if it's $350 for a ticket, I used to pay $120
What?
for 4 days in a preview night. I used to go there back issue for comics or anime. I can't find it. I miss it.
Is that for a secondhand ticket?
I don't know. I was told my ticket was I didn't pay for my ticket, so I was told my ticket was $350. So
Is it a press ticket?
no, and that's the key. Get a press ticket. They'll give, but you got to do it like 4 or 5 months in advance. So if you get a press ticket, everything's free. You get to go to the front of the line, the whole thing. I was told all about this. That's the secret. Get a press ticket. Use your privilege, Flash. Oh my God, that'd be great. Psychotic Mongoose came in as a member for 4 months, and that pie over there says Lord Miles gets treated like a prince in Taliban custody. MrBeast breaks the Geneva Conventions with his contestants. Ain't no party like a Jimmy party. Thanks, Dat Pie over there. Yeah, we're gonna get into some MrBeast stuff here in a little bit. I know the MrBeast stuff. It just keeps going and going and going. We get it. It's exhausting, but we got to talk about it. We can't just not talk about the story of the biggest YouTuber in the world being a total trash bag. And Mercenary came back, says, at least I have Alice Cooper tickets. Front row. Let's go. Nice. And Melodic Method came in as a member for 9 months. That's a side scroller's baby right there. Let's go. Oh,
Yeah, I'd rather spend $350 on some fucking Alice Cooper tickets than SDCC. $350 for the privilege to buy shit.
that's what I'm saying, Flash.
Fuck out of here.
That's what I'm saying.
New York City Comic Con was $75.
well, maybe we'll need to figure it out. Yeah, Mercenary says 120 was from the con, 350 was secondhand. All right. Okay, all right.
Okay, there we go. That sounds about right. Well, you mean you're buying from a scalper? That's just the way it is.
That's just what I heard. A bucket of C, man. Says, who called? Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Just the games. Mercenary says, seriously, Blabs, get Razor to fire her again. No. Blabs is great. And Matthew came in and says, yesterday I watched some old AVGN videos, the ones where he played Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. Those vids are 17 years old. I'm 31 now. Man, time moves fast. Yes, Matthew, welcome to life. Welcome. And Elite Neo came in with a 10, says, Echo the Dolphin was pure nightmare fuel at times. The constant threat of drowning the giant alien head. Let's not forget the open ocean is cold and dangerous. Hashtag sharks. Thank you, Elite Neo. Yes, I think Echo the Dolphin is I don't understand why people like that game. I've never understood it. I don't know if you like
the water effects were pretty cool for the time. Like, when you did a little sonar thing and it looked real.
I mean, as real as it could in 1993.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nezanek says, hey, Sage Goes, question for Flash. It's a bit off topic, but was there any updates regarding the alleged victim of Damian Mills? I don't even know what that means. Who's Damian Mills?
I haven't. I think he came out and was trying to say that it was nothing. But it's pretty obvious that dude threatened him with legal action.
Delta came in. It's the saddest thing about Robert Downey Jr.'s reveal as Dr. Doom to me was seeing the two masked giants behind him, thinking either one of them would be more imposing. Robert Downey Jr. is only 5'7". Just make Danny DeVito Doom, for Christ's sake. Well, we'll get to that in a little bit as well, because I'm confused, like most of the internet is when it comes to that stuff. And Magnum came in and says, Craig says we need to talk about it. I'm with Craig. Anyway, how's the weather, Blabs or Flash?
Humid.
What's that?
Humid.
Yeah, it's hot. It's hot. It's
not bad here today. It's all right.
Silverado says, Blabs obscure games that only 2 people have ever played today in gaming history. That's right.
Listen, that's the hidden gem of it. Finding really weird games and be like, that sounds interesting.
Sure, Blabs. Sure, you keep telling yourself
What
that.
is this, the Sure Jan section? Sure, Jan.
Sure, Jan. That's exactly right.
I've never even met a Jan before. I'm just saying. I don't think they exist.
No?
Have you met a Jan?
Yeah, I've met many Jans in my day.
You're old.
Jan. That's just Jan. That's all. All right, look, we got a lot to get into today. We have 3 headlines in the title today. Usually just go with 2, but we're going with 3. We've got to, I think, we're tinkering with stuff, so we'll figure it out. But look, it's time to get into it. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for Hard News.
Hard News.
All right. Now, I don't know if you guys picked this up, but I am kind of getting over something. I got the con flu on the way back. I should probably stop licking my hand after I ride it down rails or shake people's hands. But either way, we'll power through today. I think I'm going to get through the show and then lay back down. I'll power through for you guys. All right. First and foremost, Flash, we have a death in the video game industry. Have you heard about this, Flash? Death today, unfortunately, the Xbox 360 marketplace. Courtesy of our friends over at Melee Games. How many times have we seen this and loved it? Brilliant.
Surprised it was still open.
Up until yesterday. It was, or up until, I get last night. But yeah, man, it was great times on the Xbox 360. You can go in and download all your games. They had a giant sale right before the game was right before they dropped it. Some of the games were like 90 and 95% off. But yeah, sad day. Look at this. Oh my gosh, Halo 2. Let's go. Come on. Oh my gosh, this just brings back all the memories for me personally. Just that by itself. Holy moly.
Wasn't Halo 2 the original Xbox?
No, I think Halo 2 came out on 360, and I think that was like
Halo 3.
Was it?
Yeah. Halo 2 was OG Xbox.
Well, man, well, I don't know, but Halo. This I played it mostly on the 360. Blabs, see if you can find that. When did Halo 2 come out? Which console was it released on? I think okay. Mythbuster says Halo 2 was OG Xbox. Okay, and Halo 3 2004. So that was OG Xbox. Yeah, and then Xbox 360 came out, and Halo 3 October. I remember this specifically. 2008 was when Halo 3 came out. If you were to go back and play these games, I don't think they would play very well. How floaty they are, but they're still. I mean, there's just a nostalgia to these games.
I still play Halo 2 because sometimes I like to pop in the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah,
I played on Steam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have that.
I do too.
Funny enough.
And it works.
And it doesn't. Can you actually play people online?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I've done it. Like a bunch of us have streamed it together, and we just shoot people for fun.
It's good stuff, man. Good stuff. Anyways, rest in peace, Xbox 360. Tough day today, man. Tough day. You see these things close, and then it's like a little piece of your childhood shuts down, and sad day indeed. But either way, we love you, Xbox 360. At least I do. Dude says, I need to take your gamer card for saying a Halo 2 was on the Xbox 360. I played it on the Xbox 360. What do you want? What do you want from me, dude? You can't take anything. Don't take my gamer card. All right.
Tell him, Craig.
That's right.
Lay down on the wall.
Shut up, dude. You shut up. Shut up. No, wow.
Well, I'm the Rock.
Okay.
Shut up, bitch!
Commodore Krog says, I knew a Jan once. She had 12 kids. Yoinks!
Damn.
I don't think I've ever known a Jan.
See? Yellow Flash has never met a Jan either.
Stay at home Hippo says, afternoon, normal man. Hey, Craig, do you still keep up with Mega 64? The screw attack competitions were some of my favorites. Haven't talked to them in a long time. They were at San Diego Comic-Con, and I didn't see where they were. I would have loved to have gone over and say hi, but I couldn't find them. It's a giant maze of mess over there at Comic-Con. But no, I haven't really talked to them in a while. Would love to. Good dudes. Magnum North says, I purchased the original Xbox so I could destroy people in Halo. That was it. We used to play on LAN at college, so we knew who we were busting on. Thanks, Magnum. Appreciate that. Yeah, man. The LAN is something that Blabs' generation just truly won't understand.
Actually, it was like a couple years above me.
Mhm.
They know it, but I didn't do that, sadly. It sounds like fun, though. Everyone just going together in one house, a bunch of monitors, just taking up the entire living room and making it like your fortress. It sounds
Bingo.
cool. I
Yeah.
kind of missed it.
Yeah.
Only by a couple of years, but I know people like around my age, like 1 or 2 years older, and they did it. I just never had an Xbox 360. I had a Wii. So,
People did it with their
Real.
Xboxes and their PCs and everything else. It's great.
I had a
Deacon says-
Wii.
It says Craig just said 343 greater than Bungie. Delete him ASAP. Oh, my bad. Absolutely right. He says a ceremony inspired by David Jaffe's hard drive. Oh, we'll get to the assuming you're talking about the Olympic, which we'll get to that in a little bit. And Bob came in and says it's not hard to play these games. Put the disc in the drive and start the game. That's right.
You know,
There's
that's what I've been doing, right? So I have been playing Zoo Tycoon 2 on my little PC disc. And
Good for
I've
you,
been
Bob.
having fun playing with all the animals. 5 stars, bitches.
Way to go, Blabs. Proud of you. So let's go to our next little quick hit here. I don't know why we're talking about this, but Blabs put it on there. This guy's been passed around the internet here the last little bit. Blabs, tell me this guy's story. What's his deal?
I don't know his deal, but he might be the smartest Costco member alive. Just
Why?
watch. Just watch.
Hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, get it, get it, get it, get it. Ow, ow.
We're going to get flagged for copyright. Because he has a pizza wrapped in a hot dog?
Yeah, he's eating it all together at the same time. It's efficiency when you're at Costco. You gotta move. I'm not saying I would eat them together because that's disgusting. However, it's pretty efficient.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, if you're not going to buy into it, Blaz, why would I want to buy into it? Just
Because
saying.
you eat the most weird shit, and I don't. So.
What? Where did that even come from? What are you talking about?
He's literally eating a hot dog and a pizza together.
I'm just Flash. Would
It's
you ever
kind of gross.
Same.
Would you ever have the Costco hot dog and the pizza wrapped in one?
No, I would eat them separately, but not together. Like that seems kind of.
It's disgusting, 100%, but it's very efficient when you have to shop at Costco and there's lots of people. You gotta pick the lines, bro.
Beat them.
Well, they can go around me. Why the fuck do I need to ruin my food because they have to walk around me?
Well, I'm glad we're really getting into the meat and potatoes of today's show. This is good. Really, really important stuff today.
It is.
Thanks, Blabs.
This is how you be more efficient at Costco. You sacrifice your taste buds, and you eat all together.
All right. Speaking of sacrificing, good old Jennifer Aniston. Hey, sacrificial lamb for this one. This came out right before we got started, and Flash just started laughing at it. So we're going to talk about it. Let's just read the headline here. Furious Jennifer Aniston gets oil thrown on her on the morning show set. So as we scroll down, we will see what's happened. We'll get to it in here. It wasn't a good morning for her. Jennifer Aniston, 55, was seen getting coated in oil while filming season 4 of her Apple TV hit The Morning Show in Manhattan on Sunday. She was photographed getting splashed with sticky tar-like substance, looking angry as her white shirt and slacks were destroyed. The Friends star appeared to be filming a scene with her character Alex, was surrounded by protesters who flung the oil on her. Let's check the Bobs. You did not see this, did you?
No, I haven't. But I mean, it's not a huge thing if it's just for film.
So is this part of the show?
Yeah,
or
it's on set. Her character is getting hounded by protesters. I've seen the first season. It was pretty decent. I never watched the second one because it's only on Apple.
So this is on set, even though it's on set. So this is real? Like, it's not real.
It's real but it's filmed. It's all on set. Like, this is just somebody grabbing photos of on set where she's filming. So
well, now it's nowhere near as fun as I thought it would be.
That's why I'm like,
I agree.
It's kind of a nothing burger.
What a letdown.
Sad day.
They're just trying to cause like some type of stir up because of her thing with JD Vance in the news in the past few days. So they're like, look, she got oil thrown at her.
I haven't seen that whole thing. All right, so it's part of the TV show.
Yeah, she's mad at Trump's VP candidate right now. It's kind of funny. They're just catfighting each other.
Do me a favor, and how about she goes serves in the war? That'd be great.
Well, he was right though. He said that cat ladies run the country, and he wasn't wrong. And I don't think she has kids, does she? So
Jennifer
she's
Aniston
technically a
doesn't
cat
have any
lady.
kids, no. I think it's just like the kind of wording, right? You're gonna get like single women pissed off at you, or childless women who don't have people. Well, I mean, he's a candidate, right? So he's not supposed to piss people off. He's supposed to appease all people. So I think that was the problem. And then she's like, "I'm offended," and she made it about herself.
She's offended because she wished that she had children years ago, and now she can't.
Darn,
like a lot of women.
cheating on her.
All right, let's go and keep on moving on. We have
enjoy being old and lonely.
I just responded to one of those on X as well. We'll say after the show. We do have something else coming out of San Diego Comic-Con, which was the new Lego Super Mario World and Yoshi set. Did you guys see this?
It's so cute.
Have you seen it in action, Blabs?
No, I haven't.
Well, it's only $130.
What'd you expect?
Jesus Christ. Here it is in action.
Listen, this plastic hobby is super expensive.
Yeah. Here you go, Blabs. This is it in action. If you just...
That's cute, actually, though. It's very retro, like, for the old games.
Yeah. It's a very specific market.
I think you should buy it and build it on a local stream.
Nope.
Why not? You'd have so much fun, then you can put it on display behind you.
Yeah, what am I just gonna put it back over my shoulder over here?
Yeah, you can put it behind you. It looks so cool.
I don't know.
Why don't you want Yoshi?
I don't like building Legos.
What's wrong with you?
I don't like building Legos.
Is it the instructions are too hard for you to follow?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Chat, what do you think?
I think you should build it, Craig. I think you'd actually have a lot of fun. Put some you could talk music, like video game music's over there, and then just play and just build the Lego Yoshi and Mario.
Well, I mean, no, I'm just saying, chat, what do you think? Would you buy it? Not. Hey, chat, do you think that I should? $130.
No.
That's actually not that bad considering how many.
It's other
pieces
things
there
that I
are.
could get for $130 though.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. All right. How about you can pick this up now. Pick up the AstroBot limited edition PlayStation 5 controller. I guess you can buy that for less than $130. Any interest in the AstroBot PlayStation 5 controller there, Flash?
No.
Okay.
Not
Isn't that
particularly,
just
but it's
that dumb
clean.
free game
Yeah,
that it comes with?
this game was this was announced a couple months ago on the PlayStation, one of the PlayStation I don't know, the essentially of like a PlayStation Connect or whatever, where they announce all their games. And this was like the one game that people were like, oh, that looks kind of interesting. But I don't know, just curious if anybody has interest. Chat, what do you guys think? Any thoughts on this? Once again, you guys are the fourth chair today, so we'd love to hear y'all's thoughts on this as well.
So
I guess if you like the character, but
I think it looks clean in comparison to, let's say, the Concord controller that we saw last week that looked pretty ugly and
Oh yeah.
just disgusting. I think it actually looks pretty clean and sleek. Would I buy it? No, but if somebody wants it, why not? Whatever, right?
Right. Hey, Ian the Icarus came in with a $50 super chat. Says misty-eyed about the Xbox 360 marketplace closing down. It should be a reminder why physical media is important. Everyone got duped. The 7th generation of consoles was the worst. Everything that sucks about modern games is a direct result. Wow. And the Icarus going hard on that. I am sad about the Xbox 360 shutting down. But you're right. It is a reminder why physical media is important. Thank you for that, Ian the Icarus. Appreciate that. Blabs has something for you.
I've lost the boobs.
yeah, speaking of that, physical games, instead of buying that controller, I could buy a couple PS1 games that I really want to get that are expensive, like those Marvel versus Capcom. Remember, they're really broken down because you can only do like one-on-one fighting in them because the PS1 just couldn't handle it. But I would like to just have some of those games to have them, and they're all like $100-something. Like I could buy one of those instead of that controller or that Mario Yoshi thing.
Mm-hmm. I saw an interview this weekend IGN did with the dude behind the Marvel vs. Capcom collection that's coming out, and he said that they definitely, well, it was implied that they like to do more Marvel vs. Capcom or more versus games in the future, and I think that sounds really, really fun. I would love to see. And Marvel vs. Capcom 3, was okay, but I'd be interested to see, any sort of versus game. It doesn't necessarily have to be Marvel versus Capcom. It can be Marvel versus whatever, or versus or it could be blank versus Capcom. We see SNK versus Capcom. That's a good question for the chat. What versus Capcom game would you like to see? Disney versus Capcom? There's all sorts of options there. That'd be interesting. Melodic Method came in with a 10. Says, I hosted LAN parties several times with the right people. It was a total blast. That's right. Good stuff, Melodic Method. Those who went to LAN parties and grew up at LAN parties, they know how fun it was for sure. Guilty Gear. Oh, this is good, man. Capcom versus SNK. Yeah. MVC 4. Yeah, that's good stuff. Chris Tyson versus Capcom.
Somebody in the chat said DEI versus Capcom.
Oh my God. DEI would win every time. All right, this is a post from Screen Time, which Blabs pulled up, and I actually think there's a lot to this here. I think this is actually a very, very cool idea. Kevin Feige wants Disney Plus to add a feature that shows comic book art that inspired a specific shot while watching movies, and I think this is actually like a really cool idea. But I think it brings up a bigger question of like, how come we have all this technology when it comes to streaming? And I kind of brought this up a little bit ago. I feel like these companies have really dropped the ball when it comes to streaming. Amazon has, they have this like X-ray, they call it X-ray, where you can see all the actors and it links to other movies and stuff like that. I think that's neat. But I think there's so much that can be done using technology. We're not people use their second screen while watching. They'll look at their phone while watching a show or something along those lines. But I do like the idea of showing like comic book art that's inspired. But I do think it goes back to why can't you just turn on director's commentary in the middle of a movie, right?
I don't think that. Like I remember, like I'm thinking, does this happen? Well, I have. Is my memory like when I watched Civil War, when they did stuff like that. It's like, oh, cool, because I remember that image in the comics. But what does that do for somebody that doesn't care, that didn't even read those? Just go, oh, nice. I don't.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. You go, oh, that's fun, that's neat, and I don't know. I think that there's so much that can be done more when it comes to streaming, and I think that's a small little thing that would be neat to do. It's just a nice little, nice little Easter egg for those who know and those who don't even know.
Always wondered how many people actually do any of that stuff.
You actually look at the side, like all the extra data and stuff like that. Yeah. I was looking at I watched Bloodsport recently on Locals on sidescrollspodcast.com, and I watched it, and I think it was on Amazon. I think it was on Amazon. They had fun facts on the side that would appear while you were watching, which I really appreciated. That it talked about, this scene, this is what happened in this scene, and this is what happened in this scene. I was like, oh, that's pretty damn cool. It was kind of like pop-up video back in the day from VH1. You remember that back in the day?
Yeah,
that was a great show. Really fun show. Good stuff. Anyways. So you do not like that idea, Flash?
I just wouldn't use it.
Probably not alone. I think most people wouldn't, but at the same time, I do like the idea of getting a little bit more.
I think it's nice to pay some like a homage to the original cartoons or comics that people just don't know about.
All right, you guys know that I'm anxiously awaiting Disney's Epic Universe. I'm sorry, Universal's Epic Universe, which is coming in 2025. We have an update. This was just put out over on their X account here. Just has this. And that's it. So they are obviously alluding to something big on Wednesday, which if I was to put things together, I think it's probably the announcement of the actual opening date of Epic Universe. You think so?
I think so, or something to do with that, like, here's what's coming up, another look at it, because they haven't given us a whole lot of what's actually being in the parks. So I'm very excited for it. I'm very excited for this new land. I really like my time at Universal Orlando, so I have no complaints, except for the pricing.
Flash, are you excited for the upcoming Universal Park? Or have you been to any of those before?
Just once. I'd like to go back. I'm waiting for them to put that Mario World thing in.
Yeah, that's part of this right
That's
here.
what I really want to go to. It's Super Nintendo World, right?
Yes. And that's
cool.
That is what they're alluding to right here. Is I think that's what you're going to see is the announcement of the release date, which of the opening date. Which let's play the Price is Right game here, Blabs, because this will probably announce during our show or right before our show on Wednesday. I'm going to guess that they will open this. I'm going to guess they're going to open it after spring break, but before summer. So I would say they're going to open like early April. And that way they have a good 2 months leading into summer to kind of get things squared away and then hit it hard in the summer. What are your thoughts?
I think they'd open it a little bit earlier, only because they want everything to be set by spring break, I would say. Get all the kinks out and everything. So isn't like February like one of the quieter times to go, I believe?
Yeah,
or is that like
January.
1 week because they have winter break? I'm not sure. But I feel like they're going to want to get it open as fast as possible without rushing it too much, just because of all the kinks that they want completely out for the spring and summer.
Well, I guess we'll find out. I could see them launching potentially in February. Huh. Well,
I just want to see them just wreck Disney.
I mean, there's already merch that you can buy at Universal Studio, like Orlando website, and they have new merch for this park already available for purchase, just so you guys know.
Well, I guess
and
we'll find out.
And lots of Mario stuff, like a lot of Nintendo things are for sale too, and lots of dinosaur stuff. Cool stuff.
We'll find out here in 3 days, won't we? Just a couple days away. Here we are.
In the document.
Already in the dock. Ready to go. Magnum came in with the 10. Says Oakland, California officials have spotted Yasuke beating up all Japanese people while removing currency bills from the wealth hoarding apparatus. Officials reminded these people that they are now white people. Thanks, Magnum. Appreciate that. Thanks for the clarity. Javi says UMC 3, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was not an all right game. It was iffy. Thanks, Javi. Commander Kronk says Capcom versus the Muppets. Let's go. Capcom versus Hello Kitty. Let's go. Mercenary says, I want Capcom versus SNK 1 and 2. I don't trust Capcom to not censor the games like SVC Chaos. But yeah, I want Guilty Gear versus Capcom or Gear versus SNK. Professor Sugandi's Nuts came in with the 2. It's a reference to the Elon Musk tweet. The Worthy One says Show and Jump versus Capcom or
yeah, that'd be cool.
What's Show and Jump? What is that?
That's a Japanese magazine. That's where like all the big stuff comes from. Dragon Ball, Naruto, One Piece. They're all in that book.
I'm I'm fascinated by Japanese culture, but I don't know anything about it at all, which is big blind spot for me. JM says DC versus DC. Comics versus politicians. Nice, JM. Bob came back, says, I buy Laserdisc specifically so I can go frame by frame in special features. Blu-ray is great for special features, but Laserdisc is GOAT. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate that. Mercenary came in with the 2, says, I want another Darkstalkers game. I missed that one. Josh came in and says, Blabs versus Harry Potter versus Capcom. Nice. Blabs on Harry Potter versus Capcom. It's great stuff. And Orthodox Monks came in as a member for 9 months. Says Mega Blancs has a Pokemon Big Man Champ set where it has a crank wheel on its back that makes his arms move like he's punching when you turn it. $27. No, that's it. Not $130. And Brucknork says Biden proposes term limits on Congress, but not, on Supreme Court, but not Congress. Why not Congress? They're needed the most. I don't know. Taker came in and says, what's all this about Robert Downey Jr. playing Dr. Disrespect? All right. Joining us now from the other side of the internet, it's Savvy. How are you, Sav?
Oh gosh, hi. How's everybody? Hopefully it works.
You want us to hold back? You want us to give you a minute or two?
No, it's fine. I just had the breakfast of champions, a handful of almonds, and a bunch of vitamins, so I'm good.
Yum 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 yum. Well, we're not quite to the stuff yet, to the MrBeast stuff, but that doesn't mean we can't have you on for a while. Is that okay? You still want to hang out a little bit?
Yeah, that's fine. What's up, Yellow Flash guy?
Hey, did you know you have a parody account, Savvy's Greek Foot?
Yeah.
And it's a picture of I don't know if it's your foot
It's
or
not
just
my
a
foot.
foot.
It's not my
Okay.
foot. It's not my foot, and my feet are not
They don't
Greek.
even leave a message. They just send, like, I don't know, a super sticker, I guess. We don't see it. It's just the avatar.
So here's what's happening. Here's the lore behind that.
Oh.
There are individuals in this world who have inferior feet. Their genealogy is tainted. It is terrible, and they are envious of the polite slope of the Egyptian foot. So they are attempting to slander my good name with their terrible genes, and it's just not going to work. So.
Wow. Okay. Now that we know, thanks for that.
Checking out my foot the entire time.
I know. I'm over here like looking down.
Blabs, your feet are out there.
Yeah, yeah. Blabs' feet are out there for everyone to see.
Except they don't actually know it's my feet.
All right.
That's the best way to do it. Always try to make money on the little piggies.
There you go.
All right. Speaking of making money, Blabs was like, we got to talk about this today. Speaking of Harry Potter, this is Blabs' time to talk and get mad about Harry Potter. Here it is right here. Blabs, why are you so upset about this? Should we watch the trailer first?
I mean, if you want to, I think it's garbage. But
Oh, is this the Quidditch game?
Yeah. So my biggest issue with this game is that first of all, we don't even have any real gameplay trailer or like any footage of gameplay. I've seen the gameplay from last year during the playtest, but you all haven't seen it, and obviously it could have changed by then. But like my biggest gripe with this game, besides the fact that it's trying to copy the 2003 video game and failing, is that they're releasing it September 3rd digitally, but then they're gonna physically release it in November. But like that is part of the deluxe. According to this, like you get to pay the deluxe, but you have to wait 2 months to get the physical copy of it. So it's like, why pay $10 more for something you have to wait 2 months for? So like, they're not even really advertising the price for this game. It's $30, which for a Fortnite skin, pretty shitty. And then deluxe is $40. So I don't know. I just think it looks shit. Like that's supposed to be Cho Chang, and she looks like a retard. And like, look at him, he looks awful, so I'm not about
The blonde
this
is
game.
supposed to be Malfoy, yeah?
Yeah.
Why did he
looks
look like
all
a
black.
punchable dweeb?
Exactly, and like the thing is, a lot of people don't know this, so in the game, there are pronouns in this game, and the very first option is they, them, then she, her, and then he, him. But they're not advertising that. You can only see that in the playtest, which I've seen, like, multiple times. So, yeah. It looks like shit.
You're still gonna buy it.
I'm not buying it. I didn't even buy Hogwarts Legacy. I was gifted that one.
So what you're upset about is the idea that this is done September 3rd and it's being released November 8th. So it's being digitally released September 3rd, but the physical release is November 8th. You know what that's
for the deluxe only is what I'm saying. Like they're making, so they want you to pay $40, but you have to wait to get the physical copy. And I just
it's free. Am I reading that right? It said it was free if you have PlayStation Plus.
Yes, for like 30 days, from what I understand.
Well, I'm sure it's going to do gangbusters.
It might actually do pretty well because the Harry Potter Wizarding World fan base are a bunch of fuckheads, except for me. So.
How do you really feel about it, Blab?
Oh no, a lot of people know I don't like them, so it's fine. They're all sellout shills. Fake actors for Warner Brothers, bend over backwards for a bar of soap. Yeah, no thanks.
All right. Thank you for that, Blabs. Appreciate that. It's wonderful. Let's go and move on to this. This is a clip that was passed around 21.5 million times over the weekend. This was a debate that took place between Moist Critical and Sneako. This is just we used to do this segment called Streamers Are Stupid. And here's a great example of that. They got together, they did a debate, and Savvy, you saw this debate, right? Or you saw the clips of this?
Unfortunately, and then porn bots stole the stupid comment I made. So that was great.
No. And Flash, did you see this as well?
Only the clip of him comparing cutting your dick off to quitting football.
Well, here we go. Let's check this out.
Do you believe that somebody can go through hormone therapy? Can they change their gender if they're a child?
I think that's totally fine as long as everyone is consenting. As you agree with.
Okay, so as long as everyone,
if your parents are okay with it and you are okay with it, I think that's totally a familial decision to make. Yeah.
Okay, so a child can cut their penis off and take hormone blockers and change their biology forever, but they can't get married.
Oh, that's a decision that now extends beyond the family because now you're bringing in a different party. So if you have someone that's your age coming in saying, I want to marry that child, I don't think that can happen under any circumstance.
So, but it's still a personal decision. You're still deciding.
Because there's
take the other party out of the equation. It's a personal decision. If I'm 16 and I personally want to marry this girl, she's beautiful. She's 21 years old. Her family wants to do it. My family wants to do it. You're saying I can't do that. We're both consenting. I'm ready to go. I'm physically mature, but I'm not allowed to marry because Moy says that woman's a pedophile. But if then the next day I leave it, I'm depressed, I want to cut my penis off, I can go right into the clinic, snip it off, and start taking HRT like Chris Tyson. That's a society that makes sense to you?
It is. I believe everyone has complete. Yep. I believe everyone has the right to do with their body what they want to do.
Oh, do you believe?
Yoicks. So there's a lot there. There's a lot there.
I think they're both stupid.
Sav, what did you and the fact at the end where he's like, that is a society that makes sense to me is crazy to me.
So I know Charlie came out later and said, "Oh, I thought we were just talking hyperbole, not literal," but he was being literal. No, that whole conversation was indeed literal. Charlie, you know that those things are going on. They're both stupid, but there is a big difference. Now, at a certain point in time in our history, because lifespans were shorter, people got married younger. It doesn't make it what we consider right, not that all of that's subjective, right? So in the instance of the marriage thing, especially when you take into account other cultures, because some people were trying to throw around and even go after Muda, and he was like, dude, the countries that like I know or come from or whatever, like both parties have to be 18. I think that chemically altering yourself is probably worse than two 18-year-olds or two 17-year-olds getting married. But I operate under the assumption that all humans are fucking stupid and nobody should do anything till they're 25. And even then, a fully developed brain is not helping most of these people. So
it's just another example of like,
yeah,
holy shit. Just like, you know, when I talk about this show, I talk about this, you know, there's so many examples of that today. We're getting to the Olympic stuff here in just a little bit, but
oh no.
Just make sure you don't show the guy's ball sack.
So the entire idea of the show is pointing at stuff and being like, hey, you're not insane, right? You're not insane. That's stupid, right? And I think we can all look at this and be like, that's dumb, right? Now here's the thing. Moist Critical, Penguins Zero, he is getting, I mean, he's a massive channel, over 15 million subscribers right now. We get a Social Blade pulled up right here on a month-to-month basis. 190 million views. 190 million views. I mean, that's just ridiculous, to say the least. He's generating hundreds of thousands of dollars every month. I mean, and he's so I've enjoyed his stuff, his takes on some stuff, but I certainly don't enjoy his take on that.
No, so his takes are always pretty safe. He just like, this is not knocking on him. Like, get your bread, dude. Don't care. And Charlie, he's a swell dude, right? You talk to him in person, very nice, very, very wholesome, down to earth, whatever. But he's not intelligent. He doesn't have original thought. He just parrots whatever is safe. Obviously, you know, it takes a few hours and he can see what the general sentiment of a topic is. And then he just repeats it and then talks about it. And then that's really it. And it's fine. But so here he went a little off script or had an actual discussion with a brain damaged rock. And so the both of them showed off their low IQ takes and their inability to communicate and articulate themselves in a manner that is beneficial to anybody. So he was treading water that he's not used to treading, and I'll leave it at that. But they're both just like mentally stunted, and that's not meant to be an insult. It's just they both lack critical thinking skills. So, well,
it sure sounded that way with the idea that yes, that's a society that I'm interested in living in. It's like, yeah. okay.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
I don't understand that either, because he obviously has no idea the basics of biology. When I try to phrase things in a more interesting way, but nobody wants to listen to me ramble about the medical industry. So there are drugs that were given wildly in the 80s and 90s that they're just now discovering today that were actually negatively impacting people. There's a series of antidepressants, actually, and I've taken 2 of them. Because they found that, they don't actually treat depression, but they treat other things, but they still act as an antidepressant. So they're still prescribed today for other reasons. But when you give an antidepressant, even if it's not necessarily as effective to a healthy brain, you start fucking up that brain. It takes years to undo that damage. So, you know, there are things that I would like to present to Charlie, like the UK, for example. They were very progressive. They were one of the first ones to jump on on the gender affirming care. And now, especially today, their version of the Supreme Court or whatever just upheld that the ban on puberty blocking is acceptable to ban that. So how do you rectify that? How do you then say, oh yeah, we should have a society where, you know, these countries are banning this, that they previously had it, that they found all these issues? How does he sit there and say that, yeah, we should have that, instead of saying we just need more information? I'll accept somebody who wants more information, but I won't accept a blind headline reading idiot who doesn't know what a mitotic spindle is. All right. If you can't tell me the basics of reproduction, if you can't tell me the difference between mitosis and meiosis, get the fuck out of the conversation. Fuck you. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know how hormones work. You don't know how puberty works. And you don't know what these drugs do.
Where are we at? Hold on. Where's my sound effects?
There it goes. I was waiting for it. Now I changed my voice. Hold on.
I changed my voice on accident. Oh my god. Well, thank you for that, Sav. Let's go. Man.
Biology degree. I'm sorry. I just hate stupid people who try to jump into biological conversations. Like,
so most of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
But, isn't Sneako a CUCK? He watches like his woman get.
Oh yeah,
nailed by
he's a dumbass.
Yeah, so it's like neither one of you should be speaking to a giant audience. You have no. Your head's not on.
No, just keep making goofy reaction shit, talk about dumb stuff, and screech into your microphones. Just go do that. You're good at that. There's no reason for either of them to get involved in this conversation. They just know that it's a hot topic that'll generate dollars.
The thing I think that's when it comes to Moist Critical, he says things like goofy barnacles and funny little phrases like that people go, that's charming and witty. And then they, you know, he's like this lovable oaf.
Yeah,
right?
he is.
That's kind of the idea.
He's a little cutie in that regard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he's infantilized or whatever. He speaks to children because he knows his audience is children. So after doing that for so many years, that's just how he is. And that's fine. He's a little cutie like that, right? Like, I think he's a swell dude, but he's also an idiot.
Adam says, both Sneako and Charlie are readers. Sneako won, but both of them are wrong. Properly introduce them to the wood chipper feet first. There's been a lot of wood chippers out, man. A lot of wood chippers lately. Jag came in as a brand new member. Thank you very much, Jag. Appreciate that. That is outstanding. And Magnum came back, says, what is worse than maiming a child? Nothing. And these globalists are perpetuating this on an entire world under the guise of saving the quote-unquote climate. Thank you, Magnum. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I operate under the guise of if there is even one detransitioner in this world, then we need to halt what we're doing to children and figure out where everything's gone wrong. Because even just one individual, that's too many in my eyes.
I hear you. I hear you on that. But that makes you a giant bigot. I'm sorry, Savvy. Congratulations.
Damn it, not again. I just got in trouble yesterday for not agreeing on the word chubby. Now
yeah, I know. Oh,
Chubby. Racking up the bigot points.
Chubby's offensive.
If you call something chubby fit, but then draw something that the Americans don't agree is chubby because the average American woman is built like a Blastoise, so that's now become the new average.
Mm-hmm.
The American fat police will come after you.
Yes. So healthy.
Then you should start calling them all chubby.
I call them all built like Blastoise because that is actually what it is. Blastoise, his canonic average of being 5'2" or 5'3" at 180 pounds is the American average for women right now. That is actually real.
What's the average weight?
180?
Below average. Yes.
Anyway. Yeah, I'm anorexic compared to this average.
Mm-hmm.
And it's shorter than me. And it's shorter than me, by the way. And they're going to use that. And this is what I hate, too. I'm sorry. We are going on a tangent on science and health. Fuck this. Just because something is an average doesn't make it healthy. All right? Being 180 pounds at 5'3" is objectively bad for your fucking health.
It's also really gross.
It is.
You have back
gross.
Boobs at that point, and that's nasty.
Yeah.
Your back shouldn't have boobs.
No. No.
Yeah, you don't want back boobs.
If you got sweat between your thighs all the time in a cold environment because you're fat.
I like to call them bowbacks.
I don't know, man. It's just gross. I'm very, very passionate about health sciences. All right.
So the average weight for a 5'4" woman, this is according to Very Fit Well, 5'4" is 170.8 pounds.
To put it into perspective, I'm 5 foot 5'4", 5'5", and I'm 107 pounds. Now I do think I'm a little too thin, but when I was at my heaviest back in college, I got up to 130, and I'm like, "Whoo, this is a problem. This is not healthy." And I immediately went to the gym, and I turned that into muscle. So I maintained 125 at muscle. That was sexy.
Let's go. There you go, Sav. Way to go. Good job, Sav. Way to go. All right, let's go ahead and move on because we got a lot more to get to today, including something I haven't seen a whole lot of people talking about. But before we do, John came in and says, question for the chat and guest: Who has the best theme for Marvel? Who has the best theme for Marvel vs. Capcom? My favorite is Captain America's theme from MVC3. No, I'm going to go with Strider's theme from MVC1. I love Strider's theme. Chat, fire away. Dwight Power came in with the 5, says, did you guys hear about the poor oppressed refugee who stabbed up the nursery full of kids in England today?
Yes.
And people here still have the nerve to mock Americans for keeping their guns.
Yeah, like 8 children were stabbed this morning in England.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently it was like a Taylor Swift thing. So
what? Wait, what? Taylor Swift event?
What?
Wait, what's okay, hold on. I'm gonna look into this.
Yeah, it's a mess. Let's go.
8 people stabbed in knife attack at children's dance workshop.
Okay, that's not Taylor Swift.
No, apparently it was like some Taylor Swift related something though.
No, it was a dance workshop. It was a 17-year-old boy from Banks has been arrested and remains in custody. But you notice how they're not saying anything about him? If it was a white dude, he'd be plastered everywhere. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, so he's not a white guy then. Because if it was, his face would be front page right now.
Exactly is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I mean, England loves culture enrichment, so.
Yep.
Savvy, it says in the private chat, we are in a weird timeline. You can say that out loud because you're accurate, 100%. We live in a very weird timeline.
That was in response to what I just added.
Yeah.
Before in the private
well,
chat.
true.
We need to abandon assault knives.
That's right. Assault knives. That's right.
Get them out of here.
Next
Only thing that you need is a butter knife. That's it.
And that's too much. You don't need butter because then you're going to be fat. That's how they're going to do it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Bizarre Star just came in at the 5, says a lot of people like Charlie are starting to realize that they need to just keep their mouth shut on certain things and stay in their lanes. Just make the jokes. Just make your jokes, clowns. Thanks, Bizarre Star. Appreciate that. And Delta came in and says, "Oh, Craig, as part of your Chris Tyson and the Shadman story, did you hear Mudahar canceled his podcast with some guy called Nux for associating with Shadman?" I did not.
So Muda clarified. He said that there was a number of reasons why, but they're also restructuring. So it sounds like they're going to do a different type of podcast in the future.
Chris Shadman. Who is this guy?
So he is a lolly artist who gained infamy by drawing real children in adult themes. And he was known for that.
It's messed up. It's
fucking
super
gross.
Yeah. So he drew Keemstar's daughter.
8 years old.
Yeah, at
That's
8 years
disgusting.
old, doing adult things that were graphic and bad, really bad.
Just totally messed up.
Yeah.
Totally messed up.
Yeah.
All right, I'll tell you what, Savin, in the interest of your time, let's go ahead and skip over Blaz. We'll come back to the Comic-Con stuff in a minute. Let's go to the MrBeast stuff real quick while we have Savvy here. And we'll come back to the TikTok stuff as well. But Chris came in and says, didn't know we're going to get Savvy was going to be on today. I seen her gameplay on Concord. The game ran about as good as Stephen Hawking doing cross country. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that. That's awesome. Let's go to this Mr. Beast stuff. This has been insane. Oh my God. Stop. Matthew came in with a $200 Canadian money super chat. Good Lord, good Lord, good Lord. Says we live in a weird world nowadays. Do you guys remember the early 2000s or the early 2010s where everything was kind of normal? Sure, there were still overweight people, but we didn't make them make fun of them. We tried to help them when all I cared about was video games. That's right. Matthew, yes. Good Lord. Give it up for Matthew right there with the $200 super chat. Holy crap. Absolutely spectacular. Thank you so much. Yep, we are here to reclaim sanity, Matthew, and we appreciate that as you stare at those wonderful bouncing bosoms. Here we go. Look at that. Oh, wow.
My mouse just died. One sec.
Okay. Thanks, Savvy. Appreciate that. I like that she was smart enough to get going. Okay, then I'll tell you what. While Savvy gets her mouse squared away because she can't unmute herself, I guess we could unmute herself. But yeah, we'll unmute Savvy. Here we go. Here.
We can't because if she muted herself,
because
if she muted herself, we can't do it.
Okay, Savvy, you take care of it.
Violation of privacy.
Then let's go to this TikTok story really quick. In breaking news that everybody knew what was going on, but had to be put in a headline. TikTok has sent sensitive data on U.S. users to parent company ByteDance in China. The Department of Justice said.
What?
Children's data has been sold to China.
No way.
In other news, water's wet.
Yep, but this has been confirmed by the Justice Department over here. TikTok.
I can't believe this.
Yeah, they collected user data on social issues, and here we are. This is it's an ongoing thing right here. I mean, we all knew this was happening. People they said this was happening many times. I mean, are we really even surprised at this point that this is happening?
No, not at all. It should be banned. I agree with banning it.
Yeah, it's done too much damage. Too much propaganda. I think it's the worst one. I remember seeing somebody on on Twitter, I forget who it was, saying it was given the option of banning, like, which platform would you choose to ban? And this person had said TikTok, and I have to agree. So many kids are on there, propaganda. All you see, all this trans rhetoric is there. It's all there in comparison to like Facebook or Instagram. And don't get me wrong, it's on those other platforms too. But I feel like it's very, very heavy on TikTok. And that's the reason I don't even have TikTok. I've never had TikTok, and I'm like free from all this bullshit and addiction.
It's a big Chinese psyop.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there is I've said this many times before. I think there will be a time in the not too distant future where we look back and we say we think of social media the same way we thought of cigarettes back in like the 40s and 50s, where people were like, the doctors were like, have a cigarette, it's good for your baby, right? And we were like, they were idiots, right? There was total propaganda selling these cigarettes that, oh, the nicotine will be good for you. Rah! And I think we're going to do the exact same thing with social media, where I think that it will eventually be banned or there'll be rules associated with it that you have to be 18 or 21 or 25 or whatever it is until you're mature enough to handle it for sure. What's that, Black?
Think about, social media. You would think that we would be really connected, but really all social media has done is make people more lonely.
Yeah, more divisive, angry, lonely.
Yeah.
Very, very negative in general. Sir Lukington says, not sure if banning is the right move just because it means government involvement. Why aren't parents parenting? So you have a very valid point there. And I think parents aren't parenting because they're too busy working, sadly.
It's tough for people to parent when they have to work 2 fucking jobs.
Exactly. And, like, I don't know. I really don't know how we can solve this. Because at one point you kind of do have to get the government involved, and then that's just giving them more rights to tell you what you can and cannot do.
Or literally
it's
letting
a
a government
situation.
come in and manipulate our country and steal data.
I agree with you. I do think that parenting is a big part of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the issue there is that like this has been my entire career. I've been online 18 years and I have lived social media. So I understand the negativity associated with it. Most parents don't. Most parents, they're not in the bubble to see the negative effects of this. I will never allow my children to have a social media account until they are adults. I will not. And that ultimately then it's their decision because they are adults at that point.
I agree with you.
And as far as any phone, like, any phone with social media, nope. You can text, you can call, I can track your location. That's it. That's the only thing as far as any sort of phone device goes. Because I have no interest in that. But you got to understand, there's a lot of parents, as Flash said, who are working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and unfortunately, this is their babysitter. And that's the saddest thing about our society these days. Is there's so much associated with this. Yeah. There's so many layers to this conversation. But
I agree with Orbital Bacon. It's all by design. They keep the parents super duper busy to afford everything, and then the government can just control your kids and take care of your kids and tell them what they can and can't see with social media and everything. Tinfoil hat moment, but I think I'm right.
Dun dun dun. Well, either way, nobody is shocked by it at all. Nobody is shocked at all by this TikTok stuff.
I'm really enjoying Savvy's facial expressions down there.
Savvy, you fixed your mouse yet?
No.
Oh.
Okay, bye.
Well, see you later. All right. Genetically upgraded YouTuber came in with the $20 super chat. Says, speaking of chubby, there's an anime out there out called Plus-Sized Elf Travels to Earth. Gets hooked on French fries and is now stuck because the portal has a weight limit, unlike the West.
I heard of this.
She has to diet so that she can go home. I haven't seen it, but I remember there was controversy over it. I do want to watch it.
That's hilarious.
I want to watch this. It sounds fun.
But I'm not watching anything until I finish One Piece. And I'm almost there.
It's been 84 years.
Magnum came in and says, her fupa has a fupa. Lol. Thanks, Magnum. AC came in and says, I'm so glad my mom never put my brother on Ritalin when he was a kid for his HGHD. If you met him, you'll know. If you met him, you'll never know he has it. Do not medicate children with mood-altering meds. It's bad for them. Thank you. Appreciate that. And Alan Blabs, read this.
I'm okay with Robert acting as Dr. Doom, but as long as he is already Doom and can't take off the mask. Dr. Doom is one of my favorite Marvel villains. Hail side scrollers.
Hey, thanks, Alan. Appreciate
we'll get into that. Before I forget it, though, a locals tip from Spoon Ninja for $5 says, need an underground games movement. Thanks, Spoon Ninja.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much for your support today. Like Ian, who says, as someone who worked hard to lose 95 pounds in a full year, the body positivity movement is horseshit. I'm 5'3", weigh 255 pounds, dropped down to 160. Positivity is about constant improvement and discipline, not complacency and laziness. Let's go, Ian. Congratulations. 95 pounds in a year. That's spectacular, man. Congratulations. That's awesome. Way to take accountability for yourself. I love it. And Anti-Hero says, when someone S's on the Second Amendment here in Germany, I reminded them that Adolf disarmed us and that we are over 2 gang. Oh, wow. We are at over 2 gang rapes per day by now, and women can't protect themselves. They usually makes them shut their filthy mouths. Thanks, Anti-Hero. Appreciate that.
Yeah, it's pretty bad in Germany.
And Andrew says, the last time I've been to Universal Studios was when Nickelodeon Studios was there with the Epic Studios announcement. It might be my right time to go back. By the way, I have a great aunt named Jan. See? There you go, Andrew. Let's go. Let's go. All right.
Hello.
Is she back? She's back and ready to go.
How does it sound? Is it bad?
Sound great. Sound great. All right, let's go get into this. Let's get into this MrBeast stuff. We're still going to get into some Comic-Con stuff. We got a lot going and the Olympics. Good Lord. All right, let's get into this stuff while Sav is here. So there's a couple different things when it comes to MrBeast that we need to talk about. Number one is the ongoing thing with Chris Tyson. All right, the Chris Tyson stuff, this has been, they dropped a 500 page, or was it 500 pages? Is that what it was, Savvy?
It was 500,000 message logs total from the general chat.
This is from Chris's Discord. They dropped that earlier. So there's one side of it, which is the continuing from Chris Tyson. And then the other half of this, which has popped off over the past weekend, was MrBeast Amazon game show called The Beast Games. Have you guys been following this as well?
Yeah, there's
I'm behind. I haven't. There's been so much shit that's come out on this over the weekend. So much stuff.
There's two aspects to Beast as well. The faking everything, which people have been speculating for a while with the CGI and rigging things and messing up with the timer to make things more dramatic. And then there's the Amazon Games thing, which is where people are reporting, supposedly, even though they all have NDAs, broken bones and poor conditions.
Right.
Like really poor, like really bad.
So this is from Drama Alert. Here's a thread here that says MrBeast Amazon Game Show accused of dangerous conditions. There's a full thread here, right here, which includes people getting bruised and broken bones or passing out from the injuries, et cetera, with no medical staff on site. What? Vital Vegas alleges one contestant went 24 hours without medication, which resulted in a seizure, and no medical staff was on site, according to a statement by a contestant's family members, allegedly. And stories of contestants passing out, broken bones, and other injuries. It says nearly everyone involved with the event is under NDA. It's unlikely we'll see an influx of people speaking publicly about the event. And if there's anything wrongdoing, do you believe in the allegations? Well, there is this lady here who came out and spoke. Sav, did you see this video of this lady?
I saw it, but I didn't listen to it.
Okay. So this lady was on it, and I have mixed feelings about this. I know a lot of people are jumping on the MrBeast hate bandwagon right now, and for some reasons, rightfully so. For this, I don't know. Let's go listen to what she has to say. This is a smaller snippet of a 4.5-minute video.
Actually come to me and asked me if I was okay, and I told them I wasn't. I told them that I wanted to die, and one of them had called a psychologist to come on set and talk to me, and that psychologist had even informed me shows like MrBeast, and I'm assuming probably similar type game shows, they kind of destroy the contestants. It is extremely psychologically damaging, and I really think that it should end. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of updates that I'm going to give. I made a video last night when I was prepared and planning on killing myself last night because I have already lost everything else in my life, and being a part of the MrBeast games just for the experience of doing fun, unique activities, it gave me something to look forward to. It gave me something to be really happy and excited about. And then when they ripped it away, my first thought was to try and figure out some way that maybe I can salvage it somehow.
So is there missing context with that? Because she says it was ripped away.
Okay. So there, like I said, there's a longer 4-minute video associated with this. And I watched the 4-minute video, and the big takeaway is she's like, I wanted to off myself after it, right? And that's what some people are like, oh my gosh. Now, in the longer context of this video, she talks about how she was removed from the show, and it was mentally hard on her. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. This lady does not seem, this is where I'm like, she does not seem very mentally well to start, right? And the idea that you would be like, I want to end myself because you lose in a game show, right? Maybe there's a larger context here, but that's just me. There's a lot of about this. And this seems
she's definitely unwell.
What's that?
She's definitely unwell. She was unwell to begin with. I think she's just playing a sympathy angle. There is something to be said though about some of the challenges that he does psychologically, but I don't believe any of them are real. The isolation challenges, for instance, they will absolutely take a toll on you, but it's gradual. As it goes on, you see a person kind of lose sanity a little bit because we're social creatures, and most people can't handle isolation. Most people also don't know how to prepare for long-term isolation. That's why shows like what's that survival show where they're left in the wilderness for as long as they can do it?
Survivor?
Survivor. Yeah, Survivor.
No. It's alone. They're alone. Like, no, I think it's literally called Alone. Like they're left out somewhere in remote Australia, or not Australia, Alaska, to survive the cold or whatever. But each person, each contestant is completely isolated. It's just them and like 10 items. Naked and Afraid. There's that one too, right? So people go into that training for it, right? They prepare themselves for isolation, and the first few days are fine, and then every single one of them, you see them complain or something by the 10th day mark, for instance. So there is an element to that where it is true, but she does not seem well. You don't immediately jump to suicide because you're removed from a game show, but it also sounds like she was looking for fun and interesting experiences. Well, no, people with depression who would be susceptible to suicide generally don't go do that. So there's another element of something else going on in her brain. She's probably got some other diagnosis or medication. It's not judging. It's just stating a fact. Also, you know, there's a money component to every single Beast challenge. Nobody's just looking for fun and engaging activities with Beast. They're looking to win money.
So in the larger video, she talks about the bigger context here. She talks about how there's a lot of people, and kind of the alphas, mostly the men of the group, would gain together, and they split into two teams, and all the men got in one group, and then they played against the women and the elderly in the other group. And the vast, you know, obviously in that case, the men would remove the women and the elderly, and that's how a lot of them got out, and right?
This is going to be a little bit spicy, and someone's going to clip it, but rightfully so. That's what you do in a competition. You target the weak.
Right. If you're playing for $5 million and you have an opportunity to get half of them out and get you that much closer to $5 million, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do that. I'm sorry. And that's not spicy savvy. That's common sense. That's basic common sense.
You know someone's upset.
Flash, are you upset about that? You upset about the idea that that all the men would try to get the women and elderly out?
Well, you can be more effective.
Right. So anyways, she does have, like, I'm telling you, you can tell a lot from a woman just by looking at her eyes, and she has crazy eyes. Like, this is not a woman who is mentally well. I'm just throwing it out there. Anyways, I think she's clout chasing. Okay, but so there's that one side of it, and I'm sure more news will come out about that as we go along with the MrBeast stuff, with the MrBeast Amazon stuff. But there is the other side of it, which is the MrBeast Chris Tyson story. And over the weekend, there was we saw a video, I think on Friday, of a former Discord moderator for Chris Tyson come out and say, hey, this is what happened. He was talking inappropriately to us, blah, 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 blah. He provided all sorts of like proof. And then he said, I'm going to drop the entire Discord server for everyone to read, the chat logs. Savvy went through and read every single bit of it. Is that right, Sav?
That's being a little generous, but also it was only the general chat.
Okay.
So we only had the general chat logs, which was about 500,000 or so logs. It was split into 8 sections, and I did initially start reading everything line by line, and then I just started using the search function for keywords like MrBeast's account, Chris Tyson's account, certain phrases like child stuff, lolly, hentai, etc., etc. Age ranges. What else did I use? Snapchat. And just some other keywords to try to narrow the search, because otherwise I was going to be there for hours.
Right. Well, apparently the Drama Alert channel went through the entire thing and had like 800,000 people watching their stream on over the weekend. I mean, just insane. And like, please tell me people are not interested in this, because you don't have nearly 1 million people watch your stream if people aren't very interested in this. So
it's hard to cover. People are getting strikes over it. Geeks and Gamers got a warning. So did Hypnotic.
Mm-hmm. We've been.
They're going to do what they can to protect their golden boy.
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah, absolutely, they are. So what was the give us like the TLDR? What was the TLDR of the 500,000 chat log? If you can sum it up in a paragraph.
So none of my criticisms or complaints are about necessarily the language that the kids used. I was 14 once. I spoke about hentai and yaoi with my friends, found it way too early in my life, which fine, whatever. That's just what happens with kids on the internet, right? But you share that information with other people in your age group, right? So my only criticism is the way that Tyson handled it. So Tyson knew one of the earliest messages in the Discord when it was set up was that he was the oldest individual at the time at 21. He was aware of people's ages. He would speak in a very juvenile manner, like in a way that you would expect out of a 14-year-old. And whenever he was in the chat, there was a noticeable difference of the other kids because they want to emulate his behavior.
Mm-hmm.
He did end up posting his nudes, I guess, apparently.
No, I just.
Oh, yeah. So he himself admitted to posting his nudes in the Not Safe for Work channel, which kids all had access to, which was full of both human porn and hentai, which is the animated version of porn. He also had an affinity for lolly. There was a porn bot, and then I guess a child actually wanted to emulate Tyson's behavior, and he posted his noodles, which would be distribution of CP. And Kiwi Farms was the one who also has that screenshot, so I didn't bother screenshotting it myself because it's already floating around. Go ahead.
Please continue. I'm sorry.
There was a lot of discussion around the individual who had posted their noodles. He was actually removed from the server and then came back under a different one. He said quite a few strange, disturbing things. There was
the kid or Chris Tyson?
The kid did. He said things that I don't even think I would have seen any of my even more pervy friends at the time say. It was just weird and excessively edgy, but it felt like this is speculation. It felt like an emulation of Tyson's behavior because Tyson's behavior was very similar. He would push the boundaries and say things. He was encouraging somebody who had a brother to get the brother to dress up like a trap, which would be a form of cross-dressing. He expressed interest in, he was basically telling children that he wished he could be a NEET. And for anybody who doesn't know what a NEET is, it is basically a way to describe the stereotype is a smelly, semi kind of autistic woman or girl who lives off of government handouts and just watches anime and plays video games all day. He kind of seemed to fetishize the idea of cross-dressing with the trap comments. He would say that he likes his girls small, which has a different context now.
Right.
So
it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot of behavior that you would not display in front of a child. It would be different if this was a Discord full of 20-year-olds. Nobody would care, right? So what? MrBeast posts a picture of a fat woman and they're making fat jokes. Whatever, right? Like, it's just, in and of itself, it is a bit edgy. But when you add children to the mix, when you have porn distribution bots that children have access to where you know their age, that's not okay. And he was perfectly fine with it. He was also, this is just to show his absolute mental immaturity. He asked a server full of children, somebody wanted to post an execution video, and he said, "Oh, should we have a vote to allow gore?" Keep in mind, these are children. He knows that they're children. This isn't just a child discovering 4chan. This is an adult male at the time who was no less than 21 by his own admission, saying, "Should we have a vote to allow gore in the Not Safe for Work channel?"
So, big question here is, Did MrBeast know?
Well, wonderful, wonderful. You should ask that. He did. He was part of it at the worst. He was part of the server at its worst. Every single message that I went through that was arguably the worst thing that I have seen come out of Tyson yet was during the time that Beast was active, where he was not only being pinged by the children, but by Chris himself. And then Beast would type and talk, and he would hang out in the voice channel. And then somebody asked what one of the text channels was in the server. It was some obscene name like cuck or cunt or something. Sorry, monetization. That's just what it was. And Tyson said, "Oh, that's Jimmy's personal channel." So he was actively, constantly in the voice chat with children. But I think Jimmy at the time, not that this still excuses anything, was either 17 or 18, because I know that there is an age gap between Tyson and Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't really change anything.
Yeah, this is from Josiah. Josiah Rises. And I don't even want to read this out loud because, just for the monetizations. But everyone here, sorry, audio listeners, you guys, those viewing it, this is from a screenshot here, and he very clearly says MrBeast here. Chris is Chris the Meme God, and then the other folks in there. So I guess the larger question here is, Flash, what do you think needs to be done in this situation?
To Chris Tyson?
To Chris Tyson?
I can't say what I want to happen to Chris Tyson without getting in trouble, but MrBeast definitely deserves a lot of shit. This dude has a large children's audience, and I have no doubt in my mind that he knew all this was going on. And, I think YouTube deserves something for this too, because right now you could probably see him on the front page of their recommendations.
Yeah, if you log out, his stuff is always recommended.
He knew, and I think there should be an investigation on this.
Yeah, because if you think about it, Tyson, so obviously people present themselves a certain way in public, and then privately, every single human does this. It's usually a little bit, maybe you're a bit more free-speaky, a little bit more edgy, right? So look at how Tyson presented himself publicly. Look at the things that we've seen on Twitter and Reddit. Look at the videos that he produced. And then we look at the Discord, and then we see another layer of additional ramping up on that strange rhetoric. He was funneling children to Snapchat. What was said in Snapchat now? What is the next step? Because it only gets worse. On top of that, knowing how every single human being is, he and Jimmy lived together. If he and Jimmy were in the same Discord, they would talk about that Discord together. It is not a leap to say that. This is just basic deductive reasoning. On top of that, Tyson had the artwork of Shadman, disgusting lolly stuff, on his wall.
I think the bigger question associated with all this is they've clearly been caught red-handed, right? So what's going to happen? Really, what's going to happen? Will authorities get involved?
So people have called. Initially, the police supposedly told a couple of people that we can't do anything because he's saying he's not a victim. That's now since changed, based off of everything that's come out. People have called the DA's office in North Carolina. I actually have the page pulled up because I meant to call.
So people have been calling, and since, because it's not just the first guy, right? There's this other kid who came out and he says he's a victim. So what about that kid, right?
Yeah, so I think all that stuff is being collected and given to the police. Realistically, I don't know what's going to happen. They would have to subpoena Discord, Snapchat, Twitter, all of that if they pursued it. But I think it's easier for the. I don't know, because we see people, we know people in Hollywood are monsters, for instance, and they're still there. We get where the politicians are monsters or allegations and nothing ever happens, right? So it's hard to say. Like, in some instances, yes, the police do go after them themselves. In other instances, they need victims to come forward, and even with victims, nothing happens. So it is hard to say what will happen. We all want some form of justice, but I just don't know realistically what happens.
Well, as more comes out, we'll be talking about it. We can't just I told Vlad today, I was like, we got to cover this Beast thing. She's like,
Why is his channel still monetized?
Hey, I get it. I 100%
Didn't
agree.
Doctor's Disrespect's channel get demonetized?
It did.
Why is fucking MrBeast still monetized?
It makes too much money. You know that, Flash. You know that.
Chick Sniper Wolf, it was the same thing. Not obviously the same type of thing going on, but she was #1 for YouTube, and they didn't demonetize her for a very long time, and then she got a little slap on the wrist. It's because they're too powerful and too big.
This goes back to what we're talking about over and over again. Rules for thee, but not for me.
I have no doubt in my mind that some shady shit's gonna come out about MrBeast next.
But what's gonna happen?
All these motherfuckers run together for a reason.
I was listening to Gronkin last night, and Cream made a very good point. He says, okay, so we know all these things, right? Dr. Disrespect, Chris Tyson, MrBeast, and even T-Lexify. What's gonna happen to these people now? Nothing, because they have all the millions of dollars. They're set. Nothing's gonna happen to them. They get a little slap on the wrist, and life goes on, and it's pathetic.
They go to jail. That's what it is.
Will they? Will they go to jail is the question.
Here's the reality: is they won't go to jail unless people continuously talk about them and press on it, right? And that's it. You have to become so freaking annoying to these people that to the authorities that they have to go. You have to annoy them to the point of, even in a situation like this where you think they'd get on it and go. You have to stay on it over and over and over again. You have to.
I have no faith, only because of the way the Epstein situation has been handled. Diddy is only going down because he stopped being useful to somebody.
Yeah, listen,
100%.
Listen, that's another conversation for another time. But I don't.
Epstein of rap music.
Don't disagree with you there.
I gotta pull this up. Giving up isn't the answer. Go back to your tower. Where did I say giving up? I was just pointing out the hypocrisy that these people will fly and not have any punishment.
Yeah, just
go back to your tower.
Just apathy. That's all. It's this idea that, well, nothing's gonna happen. We all know nothing's gonna happen. And what I'm saying is, no, we don't know that, because if you keep pushing and you keep pressing, something could potentially happen. And yeah, it'd be a long fight, which is crazy to think that even in a situation like this, where the evidence is literally all right there, that it'll be a long fight. But it's a fight that I think is worth it. I'm all about fighting for the kids, and fighting for these guys who were clearly manipulated, and whether they know it or not, will look back on this time in their life and realize that they were messed with in a major way. So
yeah, because if you just to put it into very blunt perspective, these are children who idolized an individual who was rapidly gaining fame at the time. MrBeast and Tyson were to be given that kind of access to somebody who is rich and famous and popular and loved. That makes anybody feel special. That is the power imbalance. That's why it's an important part of the discussion. So these kids just want to emulate Tyson, right? They used language that they probably would have never really learned or used before because he taught them, and because they wanted to keep, they want to make him happy. They want to make him laugh because they're like, oh man, I can make this famous person laugh. Oh man, He comes to me to make his Minecraft games. That is grooming.
Remember all that shit that happened at Penn State?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Joe Paterno lost his entire legacy because he had that motherfucker working for him.
Mm-hmm.
MrBeast kind of reminds me of that in a way. MrBeast gets to keep his legacy, huh?
That is a great point. And if the bar was always even, it would be that, man. YouTube would go, everybody associated with MrBeast would go, And I agree. Joe Pa is a great example for sure. Javi came in and says, the trans defense is confirmed best defense in the game. Please nerf. Mechanics are too broken. Thanks, Javi.
So frustrating because he's like, I don't believe for 1 second that he's genuinely got any form of dysphoria at all because he's fetishized it. He fantasizes about traps. He wants people to cross-dress. He likes the idea of cross-dressing. You can actually see it in his face and in his eyes when he's wearing women's clothing. It's not because he's trying to blend in into anything. It's because he's getting off on it. I believe that there are people with a chemical imbalance in their brain who genuinely are uncomfortable with their body and feel like something's wrong. The people who are genuinely like that do not want to draw attention to themselves. They don't call themselves trans women. They try to blend in to be a woman because if they are acknowledging that they are a trans woman, then they know that they are not a woman. That's the whole point. There are very sane, rational, peaceful individuals who just want to blend into what they think, what their brain imbalance is telling them that they are. And people like Tyson fetishize and get off to the power that they have. I don't know if AGP is a real thing or a real phrase or the proper phrasing, but it is not the first time in history that this is a concept. It's always been a thing. There are cross-dressers even back in Japan who have admitted, who used to run brothels, that there is a sense of power that they get when they, one, trick a man, or two, have power over women by looking like a woman, so that way they blend in. Like this is all, it's written in places and shit.
I'm just going to tell you this right now. So. I have seen private conversations between Chris Tyson and other people, and that guy is a piece of shit. He knows he's got the power when it comes to the trans thing. He knows it. And like, what a piece of shit. He knows it. Okay.
That's the reason that a lot of them want to do that, is for the power.
Yeah.
I mean, they went from being powerless to powerful.
Yeah, they're narcissistic assholes.
And on the top of the victim chain, they are at the top. There were people defending that piece of shit because he's trans.
Yeah, there was an individual with 1.7 million followers who said, well, what Chris Tyson or what Ava did in the past, you know, they're a changed person now and they don't act like that. Yes, they do. Okay, you don't suddenly stop talking a certain way. You just stop publicizing it as much because you realize you got too big for your damn platform, so you can't go around saying you're popping boners for lollies all the time. He's doing it all privately. And he's still doing it based off of all the former employees coming out and saying it. If you talk to anybody who has one-on-one interacted with Tyson, they all say he speaks the exact same way. This isn't just some learned behavior. This isn't somebody who's matured. He will always be mentally immature because his brain is chemically messed up. That doesn't excuse anything, and he's a piece of shit. But if you somebody ignore everything else for just 5 seconds. If you have to ask a Discord full of children whether or not gore should be allowed as a 21 or 22-year-old, you are a dumb motherfucker who has a broken brain. That's it. It's done. It's conversation's over. His brain is fucked. No community should claim him. All these people coming out and saying, oh my God, he just set the trans community back. No sane person worth listening to is saying that the trans community as a whole is responsible for Tyson. If anything, people are saying, distance yourself from this individual. He is not trans. He does not represent you. Do not claim him. Reject him wholly. Say that this is disgusting behavior. I don't understand this fucked up tribalism. And social media has only made it worse, which is one of the other reasons why I say every single social media platform as of now in 2024, based off of how easy it is, needs to change their fucking rules to be 18 plus or 25 plus. Like, this is insane.
And don't forget all the top tier streamers like Pokimane and Valkyrie defending the trans community when they literally have nothing to do with it and completely ignoring the actual issue that is Chris Tyson. It's amazing to see. It's like, you are some dumb bitch.
Yeah, all these uneducated people with platforms, fine, make your money, make your bread. I don't care. You want to You want to stream to thousands of kids, whatever. But stop making things about what it's not. Nobody worth listening to is saying it's the whole of the damn LGBT. Nobody. An individual is doing sick, fucked up shit. And we should all absolutely reject that as an entire species.
So I just put this in the private chat, but this is for everybody, and this would extend the show out pretty drastically. But the guy who leaked the 500,000 messages wants to come on our show, Nathan. Now, this is, we haven't even got to the Olympic stuff. We haven't even got to Dr. Doom. But you know what? That's okay. We can get to that. Would y'all want to bring him on to talk to him, Sal?
Yeah, I got loads of questions.
Flash?
It's your show, brother.
All right, I'll tell you what. While I get him a link, let's go talk about Dr. Doom and everything real quick, and we'll get to the Paris stuff here. One of the big stories here over the past, and we'll come back to the MrBeast stuff here momentarily, because I think that'd be pretty big. So one of the big things that happened over Comic-Con this past weekend was the unveil of Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. Now, Flash, do you know? I don't understand this. Like, please walk me through this. What are we seeing here?
What are we seeing here? We're seeing desperation.
Okay, but why is Robert Downey Jr. Dr. Doom? He's already Iron Man. I don't understand it.
That's why he's Dr. Doom, because he'll put asses in seats.
But like,
I think it's stupid. It should. There's so many good actors you could have got in to do this part. I mean, it's lazy and desperate.
But is there any sort of tie-in to Iron Man and Dr. Doom?
None at all. I mean, there's a couple like what-if scenarios in different universes, like that. Tony Stark. I think Tony Stark has become an evil version of Dr. Doom before in like some different world.
So like it's gonna be a multiverse story, basically.
Well, yeah, it is, because I mean, Fantastic Four, the movie coming out, isn't even in the MCU. It's in its own universe. They're all going to come here from Secret Wars. That's how they're going to do it. But
I've lost the count and following of MCU after Endgame, so I'm very confused. I'm like, I saw this the other day. I think it was on Saturday night, and I was like, huh? I don't understand how you can do that when he's literally Iron Man and he's acting like Iron Man when he's got his arms out.
I know, it's a callback to the first movie.
Yeah,
it's like, why are you doing this?
Yeah. You're supposed to be a different character, but you want us to remember you as the original character, not doing so well off the bat.
So I didn't read it, but somebody said that there's a story where Dr. Doom switches bodies with Tony Stark in college or something, some different multiversal thing. You know, I don't know. I just think it's dumb. You could have just done Dr. Doom, who's an interesting character, but you know, how many good decisions have they made in the past few years anyway? So
it'll be very interesting to see what they do and like who's going to watch this movie, if it'll actually bring people in. I feel like it will, but at the same time, I feel like by the time this comes out, maybe people won't be interested anymore, like even less, because we got like 3 years or something, right, until this is released. I don't know. This is just some key jangling that I'm not interested already off the bat.
I just don't understand. Like, maybe I'm just dumb, and I think I probably am. I just don't understand the whole tie into this. I mean, it's true. Like, I go, that's Tony Stark. Why is he that guy? I don't know.
That's what they're going to do in the movie. They're going
to
say, Tony, is that you?
Right. I mean, okay,
this was you know what this was like they were desperately sitting around thinking, how are we going to get rid of Kang and replace him? Because remember, there was Avengers Kang Dynasty, I think it was called, right? That's gone now. Now they skipped right to Secret Wars, and then they're going to do Avengers Doomsday.
Didn't they tease some monster or whatever it was in Endgame for like all of 2 seconds? In like some off. Oh, by the way, we have this issue going on. It was like Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson's character, and one of the Wakanda chicks, and they were talking about a monster, and then never to be heard from or seen from ever again.
I don't remember.
Yeah, there was some little thing in there. I guess they're not even gonna bother focusing on that story ever again. But I don't know. I want my.
Wait, it's
question
Doomsday
is how,
first, then Secret Wars? People are saying. Are you sure?
My question is, how much money is RDJ getting?
A lot.
And how much money are the Russo
I
brothers
guarantee you, because some people were saying 50 million. I guarantee you it's more than that. It's probably 50 million and some money from the box office, stuff like that. I guarantee you he got a good, sweet, sweet deal.
Chat was saying I was thinking of Galactus. I honestly haven't watched Endgame since the movie came out, so I don't remember.
Oh, it is going to be Doomsday, then Secret Wars. So they'll do Doomsday where he kills the Kangs, and then he becomes the main threat, and he'll go into Secret Wars. Which is 100% going to be based on that Battle Planet story they did a few years ago, which was fucking stupid. But the whole purpose of that book was to move Miles Morales to the main universe. And they're going to do the same thing with probably variants of Captain America, Iron Man, and whoever else they fucked up and killed and need to bring back, like T'Challa, probably a T'Challa variant that moves over. They're for sure going to bring Wolverine in, the X-Men. That's how they'll move them all over into the sacred timeline.
Well, this RDJ was probably the biggest announcement from San Diego Comic-Con. There was also like the Doctor Who spin-off that I was like, oh no, not again. There's a Star Trek stuff. The Penguin is a woman. Is that a thing now too?
Yes.
Just in that, it's in that J.J. Abrams show. I don't care about it because I don't like anything with J.J. Abrams in it. So I already planned on not watching it because J.J. Abrams kills everything he touches.
It's true. With his little sun stuff in the screen, you gotta have the sun lens.
Yeah, I remember the first time I watched.
J.J. Abrams.
Remember the first time I watched that Star Trek reboot movie he made? I thought my TV was fucked up because of all the fish lens and shit that he does. Is my contrast fucked up?
It's his signature, the sun lens and the flare.
I hate it. Yeah, lens flare.
Hate it. All right. So look, we promised we'd get back into this MrBeast stuff, and we are digging back into the MrBeast stuff right now. As joining us now is the person who leaked the Chris Tyson MrBeast Discord, Nathan. Nathan, do you have a webcam you can turn on? Nathan, you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, buddy. Do you have your webcam?
Sorry, I was just moving to my car because I have terrible audio in my apartment.
Okay.
I do have my webcam. Let me try and turn it on.
I'd love to see you. Obviously, want to confirm it's you first and foremost. Hope you don't mind.
I'm not seeing an option to turn it on.
Go to your settings and then go to camera. We'll get it squared away.
You scared him off, Craig.
Not his device not connected now.
Yeah.
I'm the only one allowed to not turn their camera on here.
Hey, there he is. Okay, there we go.
I'm going to try not to show... it's going to be a weird angle because I'm going to try not to show my background.
That's fine. That's cool. You can just stare down at us. Well, how are you, man? Great to see you.
I'm doing great. Honestly, it's been a crazy couple days. Showing my background. This is not good.
Okay. Well, no. We appreciate you, man. The biggest thing, I mean, if you want to turn it off, that's fine. We just want to confirm it was you more than anything else.
No, it's all good. I just got to make sure I don't go that way.
Okay, cool. So, all right. So let's take it back here. You, first off, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. I'm sorry I'm so late.
That's okay. No worries. So you've had a very busy few days. First and foremost, what inspired you to come out and talk about all this stuff?
Honestly, seeing everyone come out about everything, but mainly seeing Lava's tweet kind of trying to shut everything down. The way I saw it was he was kind of trying to blanket everything with his tweet. and then seeing Chris kind of being like, this is the way I took it, not like quoting, but Chris was kind of like, see, look, I didn't do anything wrong. Lava confirmed it. And that was what made me be like, all right, I need to come out and say my piece and say what I know.
So it's more Lava kind of denying it, and you coming out. And so in your relationship with Lava, have you ever met Lava in real life, or is it just strictly an online thing?
No, it was just an online thing. There was definitely a lot of talks about, there was a big group of us who had become really close friends, and we had always talked about meeting up. And a group of the Discord mods actually did wind up meeting up in person. I wasn't involved in that, but that was a shit show. That did not go well, but from what I heard. But I was really close friends with Lava. We would talk on Discord all the time. Whenever we weren't doing things for the server, we were playing video games on our own or just talking in a voice chat. And we kind of had to be. We were like the two people at the top, other than Chris, in this server once it went public, who were really the only ones who could do anything, like who could we had the final say other than Chris with anything that happened in the server for the most part.
So you were admins in the server. You were pretty high up.
Yeah, we were one true gods. That was the role. That was the role name.
Okay. So how old are you now?
I'm 21.
You're 21, and at the time you were a mod for the server. You were a one true god for the server. You were how old?
I believe I was just about to turn 16.
Okay.
So I was 15.
Got it. Now, Savvy over here to your right, she went through and she read most of the 500,000 messages that were dropped. She had some questions for you in regards to it. When I told her you potentially could be on, she actually had some questions she wanted to ask you. So, Savvy, by all means, fire away.
Hi, thank you so much
Hello.
for coming on here and chatting with us.
Yeah, of
I'm sure
course.
it's not super easy or fun. First and foremost, how did you even meet Chris Tyson?
So it was actually here on Twitter. Well, not here on Twitter, but I met them on Twitter. They had put out a tweet saying that they needed someone to set up a Gary's Mod server. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the game Gary's Mod. But basically they needed a game server set up, and I just responded to tweet because at the time that's what I was like doing for a living. I was running Gary's Mod servers actually, so it was really kind of like at the time I saw it was really convenient. I was like, oh, I know how to do this. Like I'm doing this right now. So I immediately responded to him, and I remember he responded to me and said, just DM'd you, and he DM'd me a Discord server link to that Discord.
Okay, so you didn't create that Discord; it was already
No.
in existence. Okay.
Yeah, and I think Lava claims he created it, but to my knowledge, I'm not aware of that. I was never aware that he was the one who created it, because the first couple messages, if you look at the leaks too, he's not even in the first chunk of messages for a good while.
Yeah. He didn't show up till quite a bit later in the
Yeah.
first chat log. So he invited you into the server, and then did you guys DM privately as well, like to set up the game? Like, did he start trying to
Yeah.
get to know you?
Yeah, so we actually immediately went into a private, well, not a private, it was the Pablo's room voice chat. I don't know, there's some screenshots that have come out where you can see the names of the voice chats, but it was a voice chat with just me and him, where he was basically telling me everything that he wanted for the server. He told me I could shout myself out on the server, like put my social media. And when I went and watched the MrBeast video, of course, when they used my the clip from the server that I made, they show like 10 seconds of it, and they made sure they didn't show the beginning of the map where my social medias were. And I was like, bro, why did you even, that was just a big thing about that. I was like, why did you even tell me to link my socials if they weren't going to show it? That's kind of scummy.
Right. So right at the bat, you didn't have a positive interaction with Chris.
Yeah.
And was there any what was your day-to-day interaction? Did you speak with him daily?
Definitely not every day. In the beginning, I would say it wound up being almost daily once the server was going public. I think Lava said they spoke to her weekly. Is that what they said? I think that was what they tweeted, something like weekly, but Lava and them talked a lot more than me and Chris. But even then, me and Chris were probably talking every other day in the beginning, and then almost every day when the server was
that
live.
through voice chat or DMs or Snapchat?
All of the above.
All of them. Okay, so
Yeah.
so you had access to Tyson's Snapchat.
Yeah, as well as their personal phone number.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you when it comes to Snapchat, were there ever flirting? Was he flirty with you?
The only thing that, like, the most flirtatious thing is him calling me dad. He would call me dad on Snapchat, as well as like.
And that's when you were 16?
Yeah, well, that was like right in the beginning when I was 15.
Wow.
And he knew your age.
Oh yeah, yeah. I had told him my age.
Okay,
And go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, there were a few times like he would send me pictures of like just random things. It was usually him with like a random filter on, and there's one image that I actually have a screenshot of that I never posted because it seemed kind of irrelevant, but it was just a picture of him with the like female filter on, and it said I do me. And that was also
context now.
Right,
Huh?
right.
It has a different context now.
Yeah, it didn't really seem like relevant in the beginning, but now it's kind of like seems like could be involved or included rather.
Okay, so how long were you a part of the server?
So I believe it was 2 years, maybe a little longer than 2 years. From when I first joined to when I left. There were actually 2 different times that I left the server. I was never kicked or banned from the server like Lava claimed. And everyone knows that who was in the server. Chris actually, both times I left the server, Chris re-invited me to the server, like through DMs, sent me a link back to the server.
Why did you leave?
The first time I can't like exactly remember, but I'm pretty sure it was similar to the second time. It was just I was on it all day every day, and it was becoming a massive headache. Everyone in the staff team couldn't agree on anything, and we were all just fighting. It got to a point where Chris just like basically gave up on the Discord server. We couldn't get him to do anything because at the end of the day, he was the server owner. So like if there was someone the same role as me and Lava, we couldn't do anything. So we needed him for a lot of the shots to be called, basically.
Was that in 2019 roughly? There was a segment that I read where Tyson came in and he acknowledged that some people left and said, "Oh my gosh, why is there so much drama?"
Yeah, I think that's exactly when I left. I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
so whatever was going on, he still posted in general alluding to it, but all of that drama took place in another chat.
Correct. Yeah, I think a lot of it was in staff chat, but the thing is, so the great cleansing happened where we individually went through and deleted messages, but there was also times where there was a bot called Rhino. Now this bot was made by Ryan.js, who was in the server before he even created this bot, and it's now one of like the biggest Discord bots, which is crazy to me. But this bot has a purge command where you do .purge and then the amount of messages, and it'll just wipe them, and there's no logs of it. They're just gone. So a lot of the times when a lot of drama would happen, like say 200-300 messages over the course of an hour, someone would wind up just doing .purge 300 and just getting rid of the entire conversation. So that's why you won't see any of that drama, especially when it was public. We would quickly scrub stuff like that.
Now, do you have logs of the other channels or no?
Yeah, we actually do. I haven't tweeted anything about it. because I wasn't completely sure if we were going to be able to release the rest of them, but I was just told that in the next 3 or 4 days we're probably going to start releasing the rest of the channels.
Why would you not be able to release the other one?
What was that?
Why would you not be able to release the other ones?
So I'm not exactly sure what's going on. They're kind of the person who found the logs on his computer, Cookie. He's kind of like finding them in segments. So he didn't find all of them initially. And then he just found the NSFW channel, which I think is going to be like, yeah, I think that's like the most damning. Although it's going to be like, you're not really going to be able to see the images, but you're going to be able to see the commands that were sent to, you know.
And the conversation, because in general chat, he even alludes to the conversation. So I think that they'll be.
Yeah, and there's even a message in general chat saying that the NSFW channel had more messages in it than
general.
Than general, yeah.
Yeah.
So have you seen the NSFW chat? Have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Were you a part of it when you were on the server?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was unfortunately I was a big part of that channel. So there's gonna be a lot of messages from me in there as well.
How many people were in this Discord?
So initially when I first joined, there was like 10 to 15, half of which was just MrBeast team, like editors. I think the manager was in there. I don't know if he joined later. I know he was in there at one point. Jimmy was in there, Chandler, and then just a bunch of other random people that I didn't know.
There were a couple of girls, I guess. One of them, Brooke, and then another one, Tyson had asked her at one point to get her brother to dress up like a trap. Is that something he would talk about in voice chat often?
Yeah, so are you referencing Halsey?
Yes.
Yeah, Halsey. Yeah, I think Halsey wound up becoming even I know Halsey wound up becoming even closer with Chris than Lava. That's like a whole there's a lot there. But yeah, I think there was a reference to exactly what you said quite frequently. That was kind of like a reoccurring theme, especially like in the NSFW channel. But
Nathan,
there's a lot about Halsey that like we've kind of been struggling with because we don't really want to include her in it fully, but there's a lot that should be known of
Was
what Chris
she,
was doing.
how old was she? Because I didn't find reference to her age. Do you know roughly?
I know, I think she was like 18, 19 when she first joined.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was MrBeast in the Not Safe for Work channel as well?
So to my knowledge, I cannot remember a single time that he sent a message in there, but he had access to it. But I can't remember a single time that he sent a message in there, honestly.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Yeah. Sav?
Did you ever suspect Tyson of being gay or knowing anything about his attractions? Because there's a lot of shipping comments between Jimmy and Tyson.
Yeah, so there was a lot of information going around at the time. A lot of speculation that's kind of been confirmed about Chris like sleeping with other men. And at the time I didn't really like believe that, but I definitely was getting some hints based on the conversations that I honestly just felt bad for his I don't know I don't think they were married at the time. I don't know. Maybe they were engaged. His girlfriend
They were engaged the
/fiance.
first time I saw the shipping comments.
Yeah, so his fiance at the time, I was kind of like, we were all feeling really bad for her and knowing that that wasn't gonna last, basically.
So to be clear, he was talking about sleeping with other men as they were engaged before they got married?
Yeah, not directly to me. I mean, he would make jokes about it to me, but there were other people who kind of came forward / showed us messages of him talking about sleeping with other men.
So he was cheating on his fiance before they got married. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did these conversations happen in the voice chat with other minors?
What conversations about?
Him discussing
These
his
were like
love life,
private
basically.
conversations. These were like private text conversations that kind of weren't supposed to be seen by minors.
Yeah, yeah. Like there's no reason for a 20-year-old to be talking about his love life to 14-year-olds.
Yeah, so I really don't want to say this, and I'm probably gonna
You
get in
can,
trouble
by
for
the
this,
way,
but
sometimes I ask really specific questions.
No,
If
no, no,
you
no,
don't feel
no.
comfortable answering, you can. It's fine. I'll move on.
No, it's okay. But the person who we found out that Chris was cheating through was actually Halsey. That was the person who it was through Snapchat with Halsey, Chris and Halsey.
Is Halsey a man or a woman?
A woman.
So
And
not
she
only
was what?
So not only was he cheating on his fiance at the time, future wife, with men, but also women.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't personally have any proof of this, but there was also rumors allegedly that he had paid Halsey a couple $100 to degrade him, just like with voice messages. And that was confirmed to me by several people in the Discord who had heard that.
When you
But
say
again, allegedly.
degrade, what do you mean by that?
That's just what I was told, just degrade. Honestly,
Okay.
the way
Sounds
I
like
took it was
a humiliation fetish.
Exactly.
So let's
kind of
talk
par
about
for
that
the
though.
course.
Right. Based off your interactions with Chris Tyson, do you feel like, he's obviously since I believe based off the timeline, he began his transition after this Discord was closed. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Based off your interactions with Chris Tyson, do you feel like his transition is more of a fetish or more of an actual thing that he's gone through?
Honestly, I'd rather not comment on that because I've already gotten attacked so much for like that specific part of this story. Just the fact that he has transitioned and the fact that I'm not using the right pronouns, but this is someone I knew for years as Chris the meme god, with someone who didn't care about pronouns and made fun of people who used pronouns and made fun of everything. So it's just still like I guess I haven't fully grasped it in a sense, and so.
Well, who's
I'd rather
attacking you? You said you've been attacked. Who's been attacking you? Has it been trans
I'm
activists?
definitely getting way more support than I have been hate, but there's a lot of people trying to call me transphobic and say that I'm just doing it because they transitioned and things like that, which is pretty ridiculous to say considering like this literally happened to me when I was a kid, and it has nothing to do with whether they transitioned or not. This happened, and it wouldn't have made it any different,
Sav, do you have any other questions?
Yeah, just in terms of the voice chats, were you in the voice chats when Jimmy and Tyson were there together?
A few times, and the few times that I was there, I would say like 2 to 3 times in the beginning, and then Jimmy, I guess Jimmy became increasingly more busy with his YouTube channel because he eventually just stopped joining the voice chat channels. But the only times that I was there and Jimmy was there was when they were playing Counter-Strike and like CSGO with like lava and tags and milk, and he was usually pretty quiet in the voice chat for the most part. I don't know if it's just because I was there and he didn't know who I was. But anytime I was there, he was pretty quiet.
Did Tyson So we've seen the way that Tyson speaks on Twitter, on Reddit, in the chat. Was he always like that? Was he always just making, lolly jokes and sexual
Oh yeah.
commentary? Yeah,
Yeah,
that
ever
was
since
pretty
I knew him,
common in
yeah.
his. In terms of how you got his Snapchat, did he give it to you or did you ask for it? If you can remember.
I can't remember. It wouldn't be right for me to make a to say which one because I honestly don't remember. If I were to guess, I would say I asked for it honestly.
Okay.
So
Or got it through lava or something.
So you've been attacked for coming forward. You've had a, I don't know. Do you regret coming forward within the last week?
Oh yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
I'm still tripping on the fact that at the beginning of this interview or the beginning of this live stream, I showed this the edge of my apartment, and that's all I've been thinking about this whole time. I'm like, dude, I'm done. I'm like, they got me.
You'll be all right.
But-
You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
No, it's scary though because it's the biggest YouTube channel in the world, and it's basically $1 billion corporation. They have all the assets in the world. They can do whatever they want, for the most part. So that has been on my mind a lot. That it would have been a lot easier on my mental health to just not say anything, and then I wouldn't have to worry about anything. But there is the fear of retaliation. I'm not really too worried about any legal retaliation, honestly. I think they will send a cease and desist or something, but for the most part it's starting to become a genuine fear of me and some of the people involved of just us disappearing or something. I don't know, because it's become pretty massive and we never expected it.
Okay, well let's be really clear. Do you have any interest in self-harm?
No, and I haven't in years.
Okay. Are you fit?
Fit?
Yes. Are you fit? Are you at any point could you fall and die from a heart attack?
No.
Okay.
Yes, I am fit.
Are you a good driver?
I'm a fantastic driver.
Okay. All right. So you have no interest in self-harming yourself or self-deleting yourself at any point, correct?
Yeah, no interest in cutting my brakes anytime soon.
Okay. Well, so let me ask, so has anybody at MrBeast reached out to you?
No.
Nobody at this point has. Okay.
But you were presented with an NDA previously, I think, right? You made a comment about
Correct.
that?
Yeah, through lava.
Okay, so did he present you with a file or did he just ask, will you sign it? What is the full context around that?
So he was initially asking me if I would sign it and telling me how much I would be paid. He was saying it was going to be $2,000 a month, and it was I don't even know. It was 20 hours of work a week. It was a great deal at the time.
Because you were only 15?
I think I was 16, 17 at the contract. I think the contract was actually 2020. So I was a bit older. And then he actually presented me with the contract. But he has since denied that ever happened. One second, I'm going to start my car real quick so I can get air conditioning.
Well, don't have it explode.
Oh, God.
So do you have the contract?
No, I don't. Not anymore.
Okay.
I've switched phones about 5 or 6 times since then, and that was through Snapchat, so I don't have that.
Okay. So we sent it through Snapchat, not through any other physical means.
No email?
No.
Okay.
Did you happen to look at the NDA?
I did, yeah.
Was there anything in there? You would have been too young. I guarantee you have no experience with NDAs, right?
Sorry, my car to my Bluetooth. What was that?
You don't have it. You probably don't have much experience with NDAs, do you?
No, not at all.
Was there anything in the contract that made you not want to sign it? Why didn't you sign it?
So there was actually someone who told me not to sign it, and that was the main reason I didn't sign it. I don't really want to say who told me not to sign it because I honestly don't think they care, but I don't know. I haven't talked to them about it. But There was someone specifically who told me not to sign the contract because they had signed a MrBeast contract and they regretted it, and they said I would regret it. So
Why did they regret it?
Because they felt like they couldn't say anything about anything that was happening.
So, okay, that gives us that brings us down another rabbit hole here. What else is happening that we should know about that they can't talk about, but you can?
Well, have you seen Dogpack 404's video?
That's the video talking about the yes,
lottery and the faking.
lottery.
Yeah. I would say a lot of that is what the person that I was talking to wanted to bring forward, as well as just a toxic work environment and yeah, just a toxic work environment. That's it's been years since I've heard anything, since I've had an insider in the MrBeast team, but I did for a little bit, and as in a few years, but I've been out of it thankfully for a while now.
Was the individual who gave you this advice a minor at the time of signing their contract, or were they older?
No, they were older.
Okay, so you as a minor, though, was presented with the opportunity of an NDA.
Correct.
So even if you had signed it, unless your parent signs off on it as well, it wouldn't have been legally binding. You can't.
Yeah, and I didn't know that until like just the other day when someone told me that on Twitter. I was like, oh, wow. So I could have just signed that, worked for them, and then it wouldn't have been legally binding. So I missed out on a bag for real. But
Regrets.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, and you said it was only sent over Snapchat, though. Did Lava respect that you didn't want to sign it? Did he sign a contract? Do you know of?
Yeah, he signed a contract, which he confirmed, and we kind of had a little argument about it. I was thinking about posting, so I had taken pictures with another phone of the Snapchat interaction of him asking me about it, if I wanted to join MrBeast Gaming. And at the time, I was an asshole. I was like really mentally unstable. I was really, like I had said, and he had said, I was lashing out on people. It was not a good time. So I just started like clowning on him basically as soon as he offered me the contract, or talked about it. And I specifically remember saying, I was like, you really want me to work for MrBeast for minimum wage? And but his reaction to that, he was pretty upset. He was like acting like he didn't understand. He was confused, and he was kind of trying to push me to do it.
Okay, so he didn't understand your disattachment from everything, whereas he was growing very close to Tyson at the time. That's your general recollection of that? Okay.
Yeah, that's when I was like, I'm pretty sure I had left Chris's Discord server at this point. I'm almost positive. So it was a really weird time for them to be like, hey, you want to come work for us? You know, it was odd.
And that would have just been to create probably more game-related mods, right?
Yeah, so he was saying Lava was kind of like running the servers for MrBeast Gaming, but he didn't really, in his own words, he didn't know a lot about it, about how to run it. So I was basically going to be just his right-hand man who, whenever he needed help with like a command or something, I would just tell him what to do. I was basically going to be Lava's assistant. That was pretty much how he worded it.
Okay. So now this was a MrBeast presented contract for their actual company, not Tyson presenting something.
Yeah, it was a MrBeast Gaming contract, yeah.
Okay. And now you said that you also had access to some of the other people who worked for MrBeast. They were all in that Discord.
Oh, yeah.
Did they ever speak the same way that Tyson did? Did they ever engage in that same conversation style that Tyson would whenever around him?
Just Jimmy a few times in the screenshots that are shown, and also probably some things that got deleted by the Great Cleansing, honestly. But I hate calling that. It's so dorky. The Great Cleansing.
It's so cringe, but we're all like that.
That's what Lava said, bro. But
So let me ask you this, and this is probably the biggest question that people want to know. And Jake the Viking tweeted this out, and it just said Jimmy knew. Did Jimmy
I got
know?
13 million views. Sheesh. That's
Yes.
crazy.
So, based off your interaction, did MrBeast know about all this stuff that was happening? Number one, on the server, and number two, the way Chris spoke to minors, and specifically you. Did Jimmy know, and did Jimmy not do anything to prevent it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no way he didn't. Obviously, he didn't know what was going on in the voice chats when he wasn't there, but he was clearly talking in the chats. It's not like he was putting a piece of paper over his screen and typing in the chat and not knowing what was being said. He could see what was being said. Granted, he wasn't in it as much as Chris because it was Chris's server and Jimmy was becoming increasingly more busy, but he definitely knew what was going on, and he definitely, I mean, to me, it just kind of screams guilty, the fact that he changed his Discord, he removed his Discord profile picture and changed his Discord name and tried to, like, disassociate it completely. Really weird name that he changed it to, by the way. I don't know if you saw that.
No, what do you change it
Really
to?
strange. I don't even want to say it, honestly. It's just weird. I don't want to say it.
Okay.
Does it have to do with bodily fluid?
It has to do with a goat.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really odd. I tweeted it out, but I tweeted out a thread that shows that he changed it. But the thing is, they left his YouTube channels connected to the Discord, and it's, if you go in the MrBeast Gaming Discord archive, it shows that he's the owner of it. So there was like a Twitter note, a Twitter community note saying that it wasn't proven that MrBeast was ever in the Discord. It could have been like an imposter or something. And we actually got them to remove that Twitter note, the community note, by, well, someone else made a thread and I just retweeted it. That's all I did.
Just so we're totally clear, did you have any direct interactions with MrBeast in the Discord?
No, not privately. No.
Okay. So nothing inappropriate or anything like that. Not like with Chris. Okay. Just to be
No, and
clear.
I never had him on any kind of social medias or anything.
Okay.
Lava did. He followed Lava and stuff, but not me.
So, with all this said, what do you think? What do you think should be done here? Would you like to see done with Chris in particular in this situation? Do you think that there's charges that should be pressed, or looking at, walk me through what you think should happen?
Honestly, I just felt like it was wrong for them to be a part of the MrBeast team that so many kids look up to at this point. So I was pretty happy to see that either they stepped away or Jimmy fired them, whichever one happened, because they both said different things. I think that's for the best. As for charges, I'm not a lawyer or a cop, so I don't necessarily know. I mean, from what I've seen, a lot of people believe that charges should be involved. There's multiple people trying to push me to contact their local police department to like make a report. I'm definitely not interested in doing that myself. I don't think you'll ever catch me doing that, just because I don't want to get involved like that. I mean, I know I'm already involved at this point, but I don't want to get involved with their local sheriff's department and then have to go through all of that, if that makes sense.
I also don't think that the information that you have, while it's bad, it's personally reliant on you to do that, because you don't have any, like, he didn't send you nudes personally.
Correct.
He
Yeah,
posted them in the Not
yeah,
Safe for Work channel, but he didn't send them to you personally.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. But yeah, no, it's a very painful process to go through.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think of any other relevant or useful questions that might help.
Flash, you got anything? While Savvy thinks. Blabs, you got anything?
I'm processing. This is a lot.
Yeah.
Well, so Well, Nathan, let me ask you this. What do you, I asked you about what you think, but is there anything that you feel that you need to add to this story, right? You said the Discord, there's more Discords that are, more channels that are going to be released potentially. Yes.
Correct.
Is there anything else that you feel like you should say right now, before those released, or anything else along the way?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I would just say to, man, you put me on the spot. My mind just went blank. I would just say to keep your eyes open for the next few days. Hopefully we will be releasing more, and I can add more to it. I've been trying to, I mean, this was years ago, so I've been trying to like scour my memory box, trying to like rebring all of this up, because this is also stuff that I kind of try to like block out for a while. So honestly, I don't really know if there's much else I can add as of now. But
is there anything that you'd like to say? Like, you have a platform, obviously you can tweet it out, but is there anything just from a video perspective that you'd like to say? If Chris was standing across from you, like right now, what would you say to him? Or Ava, Chris, Ava?
Honestly, probably just like, why'd you do it? Why'd you throw it all away? Honestly, that's the one question, because he had it all. He had everything. Why? It's like, I don't know why he made the decision to act the way he did. That's what I would like to know.
Speaking about that too, there were parts of the conversation where he ended up admitting that he wished that he could be a NEET and he just wanted to play games and watch anime all day. Is that something that he expressed often to you, like completely 180ing his life, even and walking away from everything?
Honestly, I can't recall. I mean, I know he would complain a lot about the shoots and stuff, but I don't even know what a NEET is, to be honest with you. I don't even know what that means.
It's basically, it's commonly used for girls, but basically they want to live off of government assistance and do nothing all day. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, he could have literally, that's the thing, he could have literally done that years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. There's a lot here, and we appreciate you coming on. We appreciate your bravery more than anything, speaking out about this. This clearly hasn't been tough, hasn't been easy on you. A very tough situation, and at the end of the day, you're 20, 21, but you're still just a kid, right? And you may not realize it, but you are. And the things that you dealt with as a child by Chris Tyson is pretty jacked up, man. And I'm sorry you had to deal with that. I'm sorry you're going to be dealing with that for a while. And you have a place to talk here if you ever want to talk about it. This is an ongoing situation, and we appreciate your time and your bravery for coming in and talking to us today, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Just I appreciate you guys having me on. I apologize again for my what's that word?
Perspective there. No, listen.
My lateness.
Hey, it's great, man. Don't worry about it. It's awesome. We appreciate you genuinely, and I just want to compliment you on your wonderful hair.
Thank you. My girlfriend, she literally was going through all the comments on these posts. And there was one girl who commented and said I had nice hair, and she was like, I was looking through the comments on your Twitter post, and I saw this one comment. And I was like, you found the one, huh? Just the one. But last thing I want to say is just, if I disappear, I didn't do it. I didn't harm myself in any way. So I don't know. That might seem like a little ridiculous to some people, that I would actually think that, but genuinely that is a fear of mine, and it probably has something to do with my background of my mental health, but also it's a scary thing to speak out against something this big.
I hear you, man. Well, like I said, you're braver than I was at your age. So good on you, and keep fighting, man. I promise that you'll you'll fight through it, and it'll work out. And this will just be a small chapter of your life, man. Just keep fighting the good fight.
I appreciate that. And also, I wouldn't have been able to, this wouldn't have been possible without Cookie, honestly. Cookie and Zim, and Adam. This wouldn't have been possible without them, because after I made my first video, everyone was calling me a liar and saying I had no proof. And I really didn't have much proof until Cookie came forward with all of the proof. So, yeah, thank you guys so much.
Thank you, man. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you, and stay safe out there. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Awesome. Great stuff right there from Nathan. Nathan, thanks again for your time. A lot of bombs dropped in there by Nathan right there. He did an excellent job of describing things. We got a lot to clip out of there, Labs, and to put on social media for stuff. Sav, Flash, your thoughts after digesting all that?
Yeah, it was a lot, and I'm really interested in seeing what comes out of, especially that NSFW channel.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be a pretty big bombshell.
Yeah, I look forward to well, not necessarily look forward to, but I like combing records, all right? Usually it's for businesses or companies or something like that, but I'll go through these, and just whatever comes out, I'll share if there's anything notable. It's sad that this happened. It shows poor judgment. It shows that none of these people have any business.
I think it's pretty poor judgment to have an NSFW channel
for children
in general in that kind of a Discord.
Yeah.
And it shows you where this guy's thoughts were. Not the guy here, Chris's.
Yeah.
And the fact that MrBeast would allow it.
Yeah, these are not people who should make content for children.
Yeah, 100%.
Not at all.
It's, like, I understand that adults are, going to do like adult things, like J.K. Rowling. She actually releases books under different pen names to make sure that there's no crossover between her kids' content and her other content. Because even if it's not excessively graphic or gory or sexual, she still does that, and there's a reason for it. She'd probably sell more books because the average person probably isn't keeping up with that, but she still does it out of respect to separate things, right?
Actually, no. She did it just to see if she could still make a
really?
book without the name. Yeah, she said so.
Oh,
it's got nothing to do with separation.
I would think that it would still be a bit of both.
Children's books. Well, if it is, she hasn't said. It's just basically straight up. Just I wanted to see if I could do another big hit without the name.
Well, good for her.
Did she do it?
Yeah, she did, because the book was actually really, really good before people found out, and it was doing great sales. And then obviously, yeah.
But
right.
Most people will separate things. Like artists will even have separate, like, not safe for work accounts, and then the regular one. They'll have multiple names and things like that. And it's clear that Tyson is incapable of separating conversation. So.
All right. We didn't even get to the Olympic stuff. We'll get to that tomorrow. That was a lot, man. That was a lot there. And Flash, I appreciate you hanging extra long with us today. Sav, I appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us extra long. That was a lot of stuff there. And we got some clipping to do. a lot of little social clips that are going to go around about this for sure. Coming out of that, and we appreciate him popping on and really having the bravery. Like, can you imagine being 20 years old, 19 or 20, 21 years old, and dealing with this nonsense? It's just nuts. So good on Nathan. Flash, thanks for hopping in, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I got to jump out.
Yeah, man. Get. Savvy, thanks for being a part of it today, as always.
I didn't see any. I looked through the super chats. I didn't see anything for me. So
okay, cool.
And
so Sav, Flash, will let you guys bolt. So while we get to some super chats, okay?
All right, see you guys.
All right, thanks.
See you next week.
All right, cool, awesome. See you,
Savvy's here on Friday, so.
Awesome, looking forward to it.
Is that this Friday?
Yes.
I will not be here on Friday, so it's going to be good. So it's
wait, you're abandoning us?
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I grabbed Savvy. I grabbed the great panel. Just you wait.
I can't wait. Yeah, I'm gonna.
So now you're king abandonment.
I'm going on my 15th anniversary fun date. All right.
So you're abandoning me.
Yes, Savvy, I'm abandoning you for my wife.
You're the new Jeremy. You've now abandoned your panel.
That's right. That's what I do. All right, Seth, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. All right, see you later. All right, let's go and get to some super chats, guys. We're going to roll through these bad boys. I'm going to start here, right here, with this massive one from Retromeister. It says, to Savvy's point, the left has invaded our spaces just to insert themselves as controllers to culture. They say the right uses They said the right uses dog whistles, yet the left uses diversity and inclusion as their way of saying divide and conquer, aka cultural segregation. Thank you very much, Retromeister. Genuinely appreciate that. Thank you so much for your support today. That is outstanding. Also, Magnum Norse came in with the 10, says, imagine Silas of the Lambs ending with, we'll let you go because you're a victim. Thank you, Magnum Norse. Appreciate that. Also, a 10 from Stay at Home Hippo says, many YouTubers and internet personalities still have kept quiet about Chris Tyson. Anthony Padilla still has his Chris interview up, and it aged like milk. He did update his comment to support Chris. Oh, good on that guy. Magnum says, super respect due to Savvy for making the rounds and speaking sense to women and men in these ridiculous times. I also have a BS in bio and throwing my hands up at all this gender nonsense. Thank you, Magnum Norris. And AC came back, says, take out the women and the elderly, pro gamer strategy. Gremlin came in and says, you ever seen an old game show called Solitary? Now that was a mine F. It was on Fox Reality Network. Only lasted 3 seasons. No, I did not. I've never seen that, Gremlin. Thank you very much for your support, though. Magnum came in and says, why wouldn't a man want to date a woman who can't wipe herself? And then also followed up and says, why wouldn't respectable men want to date a woman who can't help herself? Thank you, Magnum. Appreciate it. Thanks for your takes today and your super chats. All right, Blazos, fire away, starting with Black Metal Gamer.
Oh, no, actually this one. Absolutely Rudy says, a Samurai
Oh,
inspired
we read that earlier.
Oh, well, why is it still there, Craig?
I don't know.
You fail. Black Metal Gamer for 2 says, a sprite-based Nintendo versus Capcom is what I want. BC says, Data East versus Taito. Thank you. William. That's a great way of writing William. For $5 says, Brie Larson has better feet than Savvy. Those are fighting words. JM says, Savvy versus Brie Larson bare toe mud kickboxing game. What the hell? Anyway, Master Gawa says, I coined this phrase on Savvy's channel. Your girlfriend's sexuality is whatever you make it. You are the J.K. Rowling of your relationship. Thanks, Master Gawa. Lucifer says, Ellen Page is a great example of stopping this. Yep, you know. Anyway. Mercenary says, the carbon they want to reduce is above all else. Yep. Miku says, we don't like the cute and funny around these parts. Give me a number. Says Shadman didn't draw sexual stuff with Keemstarter, but he's known to draw other fictional characters in those situations. I'm pretty sure he did. Mike has bad knees. Says, which government is more likely to harm you, the Chinese or the U.S.?
All of them.
Yeah, there is no or. Let's see, got that one. Okay. Matthew says, if I can say one more thing that one more thing. Everyone check out Savvy's art on Twitter. She's super talented. Yes. Go check out Savvy
great.
on Twitter. Boog says, it's elf can't diet, not the vocalize plus size elf. Yeah, I heard all about that. Orthodox Monk says, NPC doctors out here trying to screw with kids' endocrine systems and cause some serious damage. RDJ as Doom is dumb. It would be less dumb to bring him back as Iron Man, even though that is also dumb. Marvel looks desperate. Yep. Matthew says, hi, what are your thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine chat and host? I loved it myself. Haven't seen it. I've only seen the first one, so I don't really care, but I've seen the cameos. That's all I really cared about.
I have not seen the cameos. I haven't seen any of it, actually. With that said, I am intrigued by it for sure. I very much want to go see it. Haven't had an opportunity to go see it yet, but I hear it's fun. I hear it's a popcorn flick, which is exactly what we want in the summer, right? It's just a movie to watch and go, oh, that's fun. And
my favorite part in Deadpool, the first one, since it's the only one I saw, was the part where he spells out Francis with a dead body. He's like, don't have to fucking spell it, and then Francis, love that. Sirda Soulsilver says, Robert being Dr. Doom would just cause more conflict with the Marvel fandom more than anything. This is very desperate on Marvel's side, and it's a risk. I think that's all they can do right now is take a risk and be desperate because they have no other options. AZ says, I know Michael Fassbender was already Magneto, but he would have been pitch perfect casting Dr. Doom. There was tons of options. Jason says, pull in case of box office collapse. Soma says, you couldn't live without your own failure. Where did that bring you back to me, RDJ and the Russo brothers to Disney? Still unsafe Marvel. True. Durana says, Savvy's right. System tried to put me on Adderall as a kid. Was only safe from being a zombie because my mom immediately noticed drastic mood change. Great mom. Give her a hug.
Yes.
Benjamin says, got fever 38.8 Celsius. Just woke up. Hot and humid. Hip. Well, I hope you feel better. Have some tea and relax. Spring Mage says, first super chat. Woohoo! Great job, Inquisitor Savvy. Well, thank you for your super chat.
Hey, just for record, I actually have the same temperature, 36.8 or degrees Celsius. Right? I'm 101.5 right now as well. Toughen through it, baby.
Benjamin says, Chris seems like a red flag since birth.
Boy, does he.
Benjamin also said, needs are also a men thing too. Mental illness, lack of direction, and loneliness at times prevents you from moving forward. Can make you a cynical man. And Kratos says, here's a super chat for Flash so he doesn't feel left out. And he's gone. Great show today, normal man. Sorry. Benjamin says, Kim Kardashian has a 6 toe on her left foot, by the way. Ew, no she doesn't. Does she?
What?
That's nasty. Craig's about to go research him. Like, hey,
No, I'm not at all. Not at all. Where's Savvy's Greek feet when you need it?
Yeah, right? It doesn't show up.
Shiny
Maybe
King.
it is actually Savvy's account and she's hiding.
Shiny King says the drug advertised as a puberty blocker was designed and intended to chemically castrate grapplers. Also, say what you want about DSP, but he's never flashed his demon on international TV. It's right. This is true. We're gonna get to that tomorrow. Delta came in, says no wonder Discord wants its mass ban phase for content like this. Also, quote unquote hate speech logs. This kind of information might put Discord in a bad spot again if they haven't reported any minor related information to authorities and ban the channel. Thank you, Delta. Over on Rumble, dude says, I want to defend Blabs on Galactic Patrol. That was a fun game. Look at her sipper tea. And Two's News says Russell Brand was demonetized on YouTube for allegations that pale in comparison to what MrBeast is allegedly / apparently involved in. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right. Are we all caught up?
Yes.
All right. Make sure you unclick the star on them on the side there, Blabs. That's how they go away.
What are you talking about?
Oh, they're all showed up on mine, all the super chats and everything. So
I've cleared them.
Maybe there's an issue with Streamlabs.
Yeah, I
right
think
here.
there's a glitchy glitch.
Glitchy glitch. All right, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. We genuinely appreciate your support. Once again, we cannot do this show without you guys. You guys are the third chair, the fourth chair, the fifth chair, and whatever the extra number chair is right there. You guys are the lifeblood of what we have going on a day-to-day basis as well. Go ahead.
John
Bob.
says, Craig, date night with your wife, Wednesday Fathom events, Man and Witch, family-friendly fantasy made by child empress actress from Neverending Story.
Okay, John. Thanks for the heads up. Appreciate that. We're not doing that when we go on date night for our 15th anniversary coming up, but I appreciate that. With that said, guys, we got a lot of work to do this afternoon, so we appreciate you guys popping in. Thank you very much for being a part of our lives, allowing us to be a part of yours. We'll see you guys when we're back at it tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Time for another episode of Side Scrollers. But until then, remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. Have a great day, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.